Hello and welcome to the Saladcast on Saturday the 11th of August 2012. I'm your host Dan Train. Joining me today, Robert Kemp.
I am louded.
And Zachary Burgess.
I'm being louded.
You've been louded.
It louded me good.
I laud you for your louding.
Or did it just ding me?
I don't know.
I have been louded with your ding.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah, as you can tell, Rob is good with words, as usual.
Good, indeed.
Test my ding. Get
Okay.
loud.
Go ahead and test your ding.
Ding.
Can't hear ding.
That didn't loud me.
I can ding myself and it won't loud you two.
Will it loud the recording?
Allowed? It's not allowed.
I don't know. Yeah, it might. No, it won't ding the recording.
Okay.
The audience will be ding free. It will not loud.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
But
Which
wasn't
old
it loud?
witch? The loud witch.
Okay.
The loud witch from Ipswich.
That's what they call the Speedway team, isn't it? The Ipswich Witches.
Yeah.
the Ipswich witches.
Ipswich Witches.
Imaginative.
Which witch?
Have you ever been to the Ipswich Speedway?
I think I have once, but I can't remember why.
Yeah, it wasn't for Speedway.
Okay.
No.
I was there for some other purpose.
Okay.
And I can't remember what it was.
No,
It's like
exactly.
15 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Was
Maybe we both went there.
for school or something?
Well, possibly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't it like the only... I mean, it's the only thing that Ipswich is like... I don't know, it's
Slightly
unusual,
famous
isn't it?
for.
Yeah, slightly famous for Speedway for some reason.
Yeah, and suppose our Speedway team's supposed to be pretty good, is the idea or something.
Sure. But I mean, it's quite a niche motorsport even, let alone sport. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Is Speedway just covered by the bike thing? You know, the sort of like where the motorbike style Speedway, where you you
What
turn.
other sort of speedways were you thinking of?
I don't know. Do they put like stock cars on it or something? Or?
I don't think so.
I think
I think the Witches only do bikes
Yeah,
anyway.
the Witches are probably
Yeah.
a bike team, but I'm sure you occasionally see like quite a few stock cars around Ipswich, don't you? And,
It's that stock car racing then, isn't it?
yeah, but do they do it at the Speedway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's just a dirt oval, basically.
Yeah.
But Speedway is just the crazy drifting bikes, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not different from motocross, right? Right?
Well, in
Well,
the same
okay.
way that, like, Indy is different from driving a normal car.
Yeah, I thought motocross was on like jumpy tracks and stuff, and
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Can be.
Yeah, I suppose it's just like, yeah, the difference between like, yeah, NASCAR and like, I don't know, dirt track racing or something. Yeah. What would be jumpy stuff? It's just you don't get it in games, do you? Speedway.
no,
You get motocross.
It'd be even more boring than, like, than, like NASCAR. And much shorter. Because it's just like, you drive around like, I don't think they do very long races in Speedway, do they?
no.
But it's not like NASCAR where it's like 500 laps.
Well, it's a tactical match, isn't it? In
Yeah.
NASCAR, and it's like in Speedway, it's just like go fucking fast.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Are they really short races then?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you just go round and round about 50 times. Wouldn't take very long, would it?
Yeah, it's not a very big course as well.
No.
I suppose the crowd gets bored.
I don't think the crowd most of the time is there to even watch that shit. It's just like, let's go there and get drunk.
Have some nachos.
Yeah, exactly.
And why haven't we been there more often? We should go
because it's
and like...
like on the other side of Ipswich.
It's on the shit side of it.
I don't even know where it is. Where is it? Not that anyone listening to this podcast will care about Ipswich geography, but...
It's on the shit side of it.
It's Vauxhall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shit side.
Okay.
The Marlsham side, basically, that way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Indeed.
So anyway,
You've been watching
So anyway-
Olympics?
Olympics, yeah, I guess.
Olympics.
Talk about that.
Anyone liking the Olympics? Should we just rub it in the Americans' faces, you know?
Well, I went to see them.
What, our country's a lot better.
Yeah, that we
was
can actually watch the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were there. I forgot. Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was really good. It's really weird in the Olympic Park because like there are volunteers everywhere and they're all super friendly and not British-like. Like, they're constantly going, woo, and stuff, and like,
They've been trained.
jokes and things, yeah.
What, you'd rather they just sort of, like, touch
No.
twat at you?
No, I like it. It's just not very British, is it? It's all very get up and go, not very sort of reserved.
Right, come on, take your seats, you penis.
It's really cool. Everyone was like really happy and having a good time, which is really weird. And
basketball is like less like an Olympic sport, even though
I
it's
suppose,
an
but
Olympic sport.
I just meant in like the whole park, even before you got there. Like it's a huge place, and it took a while to walk over to the basketball place, so I had to walk past the main stadium and everything.
Oh right, I assumed basketball was happening in the XL.
No. That's what's in the XL like.
The XL is all the weird shit. It's like
it had badminton.
It's like
they had a
fencing.
Yeah.
And
what, judo?
I think the trampoline was in the XL as well.
Oh, it was like gymnastics in general, isn't it?
I don't think all the gymnastics was. Just trampolining.
They all look very similar on the inside.
Well, of course they do. They're fucking sports stadiums.
Well, the basketball.
There's a bunch of seats that go up the side and then a bit in the middle where the people do things.
They were all kind of pink.
They look the same on the inside. On the outside, they're kind of quite interesting looking. Some, obviously,
the aquatic stadium is the one that looks really weird.
Yeah, it looks crazy. I walked underneath the crazy cantilever part of the aquatic centre thing. That was cool.
I can't believe how far the seats go up in that place. It's like if you're in the back row of the seats in there, you wouldn't be able to see shit.
Well, like, you can see the pool, but if you went to see the diving, and it was busy, there's quite a large possibility that you can't see the
top
dive.
Of the diving board.
It's like someone I know went and they took a shot of it, and basically the shot they had was the perfect angle, so the roof came down and went up just where the diving board was, so they could see nothing but the perfect vertical stripe where the person was diving. It's like, so that's either incredibly well planned or a total fluke.
So yeah, the basketball place was right next to the velodrome, actually. The Pringle. And next to that, they had a basketball stadium thing. Although I was watching today, and they were doing handball in that same thing, which makes sense, I guess.
Oh right, so they're
cool.
interchangeable, are they?
Well, apparently, but I didn't know much about handball.
Similar game, really, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess. But it was
I've decided
really big.
handball is dumb.
A lot of things are dumb.
It seemed pretty dumb, yeah. So yeah, it was women's basketball, and the British team that I was seeing play France in the first game. Apparently, they had never won a game ever in Olympic history, and it was super close. It was like down to the last. It was like tied almost the entire way through, and then it went to extra time, and then there was. The France went 3 ahead with 0.2 seconds on the clock. So we had to make a 3-pointer in 0.2 seconds, and she made it, but it was in 0.3 seconds, unfortunately. So. Yeah, so we lost that one. And then it was America versus Czechoslovakia or something, and of course America
just pwned them all.
Yeah, they just even the women, they like pwned them. Apparently they'd won 8 gold medals in a row or something. I think so. That was quite fun.
I think I saw a little random highlight that was just in one of the Olympics today or whatever. There was like a random highlight of the classic basketball thing of like throw it before the buzzer from the other side of the court.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't think that was the match useful though. I think that was another one, and it actually counted in that one.
Oh, cool!
Where it's like they threw it from their own half and made a 3-point on the buzzer to tie it.
That's awesome.
That's how you should always win basketball games.
Well, it was really close.
It's just throw it from there. Yeah, don't bother about the up close stuff. Just chuck it.
Well, yeah, that would be the best basketball team ever if you just very specifically trained one guy to be able to make whole court length shots.
Yeah, just the artillery.
Well, I was wondering why they weren't going for the 3-pointers more often, and then when I saw
because
the
that's
US,
not how
they did
actual
do
basketball works. That's the
thing.
You're not allowed to just hold the ball in your half and have everyone push up the thing, and then just artillery shot it in and hope that.
I don't know. It's like it's a bit of a different game with women because the 3-pointers are probably easier because they can't jump high enough to stop it from going in.
Like women can't jump. And black women as well. So there you go.
Well, they're just not high enough, so they never dunk or they never oop because they just can't get high enough. So they just all do shoot, normally, and
you'd think they just have
cool game.
women have lower baskets on women's version.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe they should do it the other way around. They should just make a higher basket for the men's version.
But then you're destroying slam dunks. You want slam dunks.
I'm not sure you do, because you can just sort of walk up and dunk it, and you can't really be challenged that much when you do that. But
that's part of the game.
If you get the ball in there. But is basketball actually interesting to watch? Because
I really enjoyed watching it, and it's really fast paced, and like it seems
there's
like
no downtime.
So it's better than NBA Jam then.
Yeah, I mean it's like
I don't know if it is.
I'd never watched much basketball before. It seems like if you're on the offense, as in if you have possession, then, which obviously it switches every time they score or whatever, then you have a huge advantage. So it's kind of like tennis in that you have to kind of break their serve. Do you know what I mean? It's like
you actually have to make a defense.
And any block is actually a seriously good big deal.
Yeah, anytime you get it off them, then it's brilliant, because otherwise it's just like you just take in turns to score, basically. Yeah. Although, if you faff around too much, there's a clock that counts down, and you
shot counter.
You lose. Yeah, you have a shot counter. Yeah, which is kind of cool. And of course, they did very American style.
Hockey, don't they? As well.
Yeah.
And war polo.
So. And it had in the stadium. It had just like in like the NHL games we used to play. You know, the little stings of crazy music every time they score.
Fairground organ music.
Yeah. Well, you know,
it wasn't quite dum 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 dum.
No, it didn't have that, but it had like it would play a snippet of song 2 when they scored and stuff. That seems to be a lot
they used the Fratellis a lot in the hockey.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like whenever someone scored, it's like da 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 da. I think the Brits had. I think they specifically for the Brits played Seven Nation Army whenever they scored in the hockey.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Seven Nation Army and stuff. So yeah, that was kind of cool. All I could think of was going into the sound bank and making it go chicken and ham, chicken and ham.
Yep, that's the classic.
Because what was the NHL game? The classic one?
2K2 was, or not 2K2.
No.
Not to confuse it with 2, but it was NHL 2002.
That's right. The EA
was
one.
our preferred version because it was more Czech heavy.
That had such a slick interface and stuff. That had that card game.
It was a really well-made game.
Yeah,
it's my favourite of the lot, because I had 2003 as well, but then they started moving. That was when EA started putting more effort to move to the realism side rather than it's a fun game side.
Yeah.
And they've never really gone back, and so neither have I.
Yeah, so stick with NHL 2002, a whole 10 years old at this point.
It's a quality game. You're making me want to play it, because I have such fond memories of that.
And because you still have that copy of it zipped up with all the appropriate sounds.
I do, with all the, because it had a music importer. This is the point Darren was
making. We've probably talked about this before.
Have we?
I think we probably have.
Probably a long time ago, but you could import your own ditties into the various events, and so you could configure it's like home goal. Okay, so we'll have good music for home goals. Away goal, we'll have ridiculous music for away goals. And then you had fight music as well, which always had to be Carl's mum's a bitch.
Yeah.
And then
I've forgotten about that song. And the crazy over-the-top version in the South Park movie, of course, with all the kids are around the world. Yeah. So video games.
Even if
we almost started talking about video games by ourselves there. That was almost smooth.
I was kind of doing it deliberately, but I was hoping to steer.
Well, I mean, we went from one kind of sport to another kind of sport.
Yeah.
So it worked.
Well, I was looking, because basketball games, I was on. It seems like they're not. EA aren't doing them right now, so it's just the 2K ones, right? Is that right?
Well, there was an arcade re-release of NBA Jam not that long.
Yeah,
they're
not doing
really a basketball
the full-blown ones.
As an arcade.
No, you're right. I'm not sure they are. I think 2K have kind of taken over that mantle.
They
seem to. They're going for this crazy arcade because they did NFL Blitz as well, didn't they, for their footbal stuff?
Yeah, although they'll still do Madden though.
Which of the American sports they had several years where they just cocked up and didn't have a season or whatever. That was football, wasn't it?
Well, ice hockey did that, right?
Ice hockey have done that. Yeah,
but football did it 2 years ago.
Ice hockey have done that several times.
Well, football nearly did it this year, according to my brother. I think the American football, obviously.
So I was just wondering if maybe basketball had done that as well.
That must be such a really big deal for the clubs. Like,
It's a massive deal
their...
if that happens, yeah.
They must be all out of pocket, like, significantly when that happens.
Well, that's why they have to agree it.
Or does it work the other way? Do they just get sponsored and then they don't actually have to put on an event?
Do they pay the players, like, per game? Or is it like, well, you're not playing this year, so I guess we don't have to pay.
I don't know.
They probably still have to pay them for training.
Well, retaining them, I guess.
But maybe there's like a contractual agreement where it's like, well, if there aren't any games, your salary is like halved. So it's only like several millions.
Maybe.
As opposed to majillions of millions.
Majillions.
Majillions of millions.
A bajillion million.
Video games.
Video games.
What? Yeah, what?
News!
You got any news?
News, everyone.
I can't remember much in the news this last couple of weeks. I haven't been paying that much attention.
I was trying to remember. I'm sure I had something, but I can't remember.
You see the Kickstarter video for the Oculus Rift thingamajig?
No.
Anybody? That looks awesome. Do you know about this thing?
No.
It's
ridiculous.
the John Carmack virtual reality thing he was showing off at E3.
Yeah.
Well, those dudes who made the tech for it have...
is that what the headset's called?
Yeah, it's called the Rift.
Yeah, I did see some of the Doom 3 stuff that they were...
Yeah. So they're basically, going to make a bunch of dev kits and stuff, and they've got a Kickstarter, which obviously they've blown the roof off their goal, as they all seem to do, some of these big Kickstarters.
If anyone ever knows about them, then they'll just, like...
Yeah,
as soon as they become known, then you'll succeed.
But I have to say the video is very... convincing and interesting. It's basically the main thing he's saying is like it's the combination of the ultra low latency that you haven't had before, which is obviously key immersion, plus a really massively wide field of view compared to previous VR stuff.
Yeah, not sort of like we're not talking human equivalent yet, but it's pretty good. The screens are big enough, so it like fills most of your vision.
Yeah, so those are the two main benefits. It's not very high res on the kits.
It's 720 in your face, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
But it's still better than what we've had before most of the time.
And this is just dev kit stuff. I mean, it's not going to be out until at least next year.
It looked taped on, didn't it? A lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Like in that video, there was like duct tape gluing the screens onto something.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is currently. But I mean, I think it's quite exciting. A lot more than 3D and in general, like on a movie or whatever. I think this is kind of cool tech, going back to VR and stuff. You know, if you can do it right this time.
I wonder how practical it is. I still wonder, like, a little bit about what the actual practical nature is for, like, especially for shooters. Because, you know, he did mention, it's like, well, you can't really have a crosshair if you're doing this, so you've got to do it through the gun, and you can't really do close aim because then it's, like, too close to your face to work in both eyes, so
that's true.
They may have to come up with a solution about, you know, how they do scoping and stuff like that, but it's...
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. That's probably a problem.
Because the demo they showed just added a bit of a laser sight to the gun, didn't they? So you could, I don't know.
Well, I guess that makes sense. That could work, couldn't it? You put a laser sight on the gun.
Well, it wasn't a dot that actually put on the world. They just had the actual sort of like the foggy beam that comes out of the gun, and then you sort of shoot from the hip a bit, which I suppose makes a lot more sense in Doom. In fairness,
yeah.
But
then
you know, for precision shooters, precision.
But the laser, presumably the laser dot gets painted onto the actual polygon.
Well, I didn't see it in the demos they were showing, but yeah, that could work in like the actual thing.
Yeah, it could help. Well, it's a start, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the iron sights, I guess. But
for racing games, I'm pretty much on board. That could be awesome.
Yeah,
cool. You wouldn't need a head cam.
Yeah.
Or if you're Codemasters, just don't make it in a car view, motherfuckers.
Oh, speaking of which...
Grid 2.
That's the new news, isn't it?
That's the one bad thing that I've heard so far about Grid 2, is that they've ditched inner car views.
I don't think that sounds that bad. They're saying they're going to just use the...
They were like, we've got all this data from our data capturing on the other dirt games, where it's like only 5% of people ever using car views. Like, get rid of it.
Yeah, I think they made the right decision.
Perhaps. I mean, perhaps, because they always went a bit... I kind of liked the idea of it, though. Just the fact that it was there. And in fairness, headcam hasn't been quite as good as they... It was more static in like the recent editions compared to how it used to be. Like, because it used to react a little more to bumps and stuff. And
I guess.
I always kind of liked it was there, so if you wanted to, you had the super hardcore option, but it's like, I just play bumper cam.
Yeah, I mostly...
not bumper cam, hook cam, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, but the game itself looks pretty
oh
good.
Man, I'm so sick about that. It's like there's so much hype surrounding it though that it's.
Did a lot of people actually play Grid? I mean, or are they just excited because
Rob is a lot of people.
I
have a lot of
people.
people.
Did, and
I have the
I'm
week
just
of
wondering
two
about
men.
was it as popular as like a PGR or a Forza or something? I don't think so.
No.
Well, I think it made a bit of a big deal because it was.
But I'm not
sure it sold crazy like numbers, but it was a bit of a critical success because it kind of like defined how the direction Codemasters are now taking.
Yeah. Oh, it's freaking
It invented
cool
the flashback thing, didn't it?
Well, apart from they've started.
Well, I don't know.
Did they have that in Dirt 1?
Apart from they've suddenly decided not to follow that direction and make like Dirt Showdown. Just shit.
Yeah, they're just splintering it off because some of the stuff that was in Grid, like the Destruction Derby events, were originally in Grid.
Yeah.
You're right, the flashback wasn't in Dirt 1, so I think it was originally in Grid. Although I think they kind of copied it off, like, what was the game with the shooting? Full Auto or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that had, like, proper hold to rewind rather than, like, press pause.
Full Auto was a good game.
Rewind a bit, press play and all that.
Full Auto was a pretty great game.
I thought it was pretty cool as an arcade game. It's nice looking and quite fun.
It was impressive, as a near launch title on 360. The shit that was going on in there, like when you blow up a petrol station, and the things that were like, it's not entirely realistic, but you had like the telegraph poles that were holding up, the wires. And when the poles got blew out, instead of the wires coming down, the wires would stay where they were, and the pole would swing on the wire in places. It was like kind of backwards physics in places, but it was the fact that the explosion had enough momentum to affect stuff a reasonable distance away.
Yeah,
the model was pretty good. They did release a sequel on PS3 that I sort of have always toyed with the idea of, like, maybe I should pick that up one day and see what they did to it. And there was a PSP version as well.
Yeah.
Which I can't imagine would work too well because you kind of needed both sticks. For, like, aiming and stuff.
Speaking of PS3, because I want to move on to some other news that maybe I've remembered something.
Okay.
Like, they've finally done the thing that I thought they'd done and opened up the beta of Dust to Eve players. So in theory, Rob could be playing that right now.
Oh man, we have to do that. We have to check this out.
Yeah,
we have to see how this works.
Although apparently it might only be for this weekend, so we literally do have to do it.
Oh, balls. But that's a massive download, I'm assuming.
Presumably.
Have to run it overnight.
Yeah.
Given how slow PSN is to download.
Yeah, exactly. But I've seen a couple of, like, bits of, I don't know, it was like random quotes from people who played it, who were like, holy shit, this is the best thing ever! It's like, what? It's good? Is it likely?
Okay.
Because what I've seen of it, it looks really kind of generic and not, it doesn't feel like it has much feel to it.
I've not seen much that grabs me about it, but there may be people just getting into the actual Eve World mechanics or assistance of it, but
you might have to try that.
Yeah, it's intriguing. If we can try it, let's try it.
Yes, if you have time tomorrow, I guess, probably.
Woo! Get my journalism on.
Yep. Now I'm trying to think of what other news there was. I feel sure there was something else.
There was a live-action PlanetSide trailer for some reason. I don't know why they keep doing live-action trailers for shit. It's a bit weird.
I wish they'd hurry up and open the beta up for that as well.
Yeah. Oh, and didn't they say it was going to be in Steam or something? Or somebody did.
Because
it's free to
I'm
play,
sure it won't be in Steam. Why would it be in Steam?
They're putting Tribes into Steam as well.
Tribes is in Steam.
Yeah, but
it wasn't.
Sony has their own version of Steam that is shit and only supports like 3 games.
Do they?
Yeah, what's it called? Space? No.
Space?
I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Station. That's it.
It's just called Station.
Yeah, the Station thing is like their overarching Steam equivalent that is basically a back end for all their online games.
I didn't know that existed.
Original PlanetSide ran on Station. It's been around for a million years.
I think it would be smart of Sony to not use Station.
Well, they're going to use it, but it's whether they don't use it if they don't try and front end it through Station, if they use Steam's actual.
That would make more sense if you load it up in Steam, perhaps, and then log
like Games of Windows Live, basically.
Yeah, log into your Station account in the game.
I think it makes sense for a free-to-play game, especially. Like, you'll just get players if you put it on Steam, and then it's not like they're going to get a cut of your microtransactions, is it? I don't think so.
No,
they might.
I'm not sure Steam can do that.
No,
Yeah.
so
Unless you hook into like Steamworks, maybe.
Well, yeah, I guess. If you're in the actual Steam store.
Yeah, the workshop and the wallet and all that thing.
I don't think they do that. But still, yeah. It seems like a smart move.
Turn the light on, it's too dark in here.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like that.
I'll fall asleep. I haven't eaten. It's fucking 8 o'clock.
Just think how much you'll love it when the time comes.
I'm not going to survive that long.
Any more news?
There was also another beta thing. There's currently a very, very closed beta of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
I heard about this.
The shitty poops Smash Brothers.
It looks exactly like Smash Brothers. Jesus.
It looks exactly like Smash Brothers, apart from the important mechanics of Smash Brothers that make it good.
Did you hear that they hacked it?
Yeah, they
and found the character roster.
Yeah, but that's a classic. That is.
But it's like, why do that though? It's like, you know,
why do what? Hack it or leave it in?
Why leave that shit in a game?
Because
when your big sales push with these things is to slowly reveal the character roster.
Or maybe they weren't planning on doing that.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, their marketing up to this point has been pretty shitty.
I know.
Or non-existent.
Yeah, it's not been too bad. We're still a way away from release, aren't we? But
it's only like 2 months or something. It's meant to come out this year. And this year is not going to last much longer, surprisingly.
It could be right. It could be something to keep our Smash Brothers on. I'm still not sure about the kill system.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that it's like everyone says. Basically, half of all the comments on the internet is like, "Oh, this is just a rip-off of Smash Bros." And then the other half is like, "Yes, but they're missing the important mechanic of Smash Bros. The whole percentage kicking people off the level mechanic that makes it awesome and fun."
Yeah.
Now you just do a super move and it just instantly kills someone, and with virtually no reaction to it. It's I died somehow.
There's no fanfare about it. It's kind of strange. I wish it was better.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I kind of want it to be good.
Yeah, if it was just literally
because
a
you
complete
want another
rip-off.
Smash Brothers game.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah, with PlayStation characters.
But with a completely different roster, meaning it will be like Smash Brothers but super fresh.
It's like, hopefully the next Smash Brothers, but that will definitely not have more characters.
Because it'll be, that's the problem, I suppose, because this is Sony's first stab at it. It's
everything's new.
Everything is new. Whereas if Nintendo do it when the Smash Brothers for Wii U comes about...
But they can still come up with 30 more characters. But they're kind of bound to remaking all the old ones. That's their problem now.
Well, maybe. If Nintendo would have to go ridiculous third-party input...
I don't know if they would.
Well... To gain that many characters that are actually going to be interesting? Or...
Well, it's not that the characters are interesting, it's the mechanics of the characters. It's like, if you're just going to clone Fox again, then preferably not.
Well, yeah, too, but it's... What really have we got left?
Someone should just do the Kingdom Hearts.
Well, they should take all the safe stuff. Because now that they've already got Sonic, just bring in all the Sonic All-Star Racers guys.
Actually, that would be pretty cool.
Jet Set Radio in there.
There's quite a large slew of characters they can bring in from there, yeah. Knuckles.
Yeah, we'll be up for Sonic.
Knuckles is more appropriate for that game than Sonic.
It's like Knuckles should have been the Sonic character, but that would have been really retarded.
Yeah.
It's just like, who's coming from the Sonic universe? Knuckles! For no reason.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made a lot of sense for marketing, but it's like, yeah, they could bring in a lot of them. Yeah. Amy's hammer, for instance.
Well, now you're risking making clones then, though, because all the Sonic characters are very similar in at least stature, which sort of lends itself.
Fly.
Just put something like
and he could gadget things up because they don't have to necessarily.
Tails could just be a mech the whole time. Let's go to Sonic Adventure 2.
That would be a super though. His Smash Ball.
No, because the super version of that would be the giant laser. He could be in the mech the whole time, but just not have the uber laser attack that you get in Sonic Adventure 2, which is really bad.
The laser.
No, not the egg carrier.
No, the egg carrier.
Not the Eggman special, clearly.
Eggman would play a bit like, oh god, who's that guy from Marvel vs. Capcom? The dumpy square dude.
What, MODOK?
MODOK, yeah. Eggman can play like MODOK, flying around in an Egg-O-Matic.
Yeah. That'd be pretty funny. So yeah, anyway.
Make it happen. And you go for Jet Set Radio guys, just skating everywhere, being like super fast characters and spraying people
Jet Set Radio HD, the original, it's coming to Steam, apparently.
Yeah.
It's coming to Steam.
Which is kind of cool.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That means it'll be on deal at some point.
release date.
Yes, that is it's like,
Exactly.
do you want to play it on PC? That does not matter. All that matters is it will be cheap.
Well, no, actually,
It will be £1.
I'm not sure about. Well, it would be nice for that because it means I don't have to get the Dreamcast out if I ever wanted to play the original Jet Set Radio. But it's like, but at the
You can
same
get it
time,
on Xbox. That's why.
but yeah, I still have concerns about that game though because the soundtrack was such a big part of that game, and we already know that that's been hobbled.
If you play on PC, you can just play the actual soundtrack in the background. Turn off the in-game music, open the soundtrack file.
Yeah, and then you could have Jet Set Radio Future as well in there.
Yeah.
Maybe someone will patch it, I don't know.
Let's make another Jet Set Radio game.
Yeah, goddammit.
Yeah,
It's one of their
obviously.
best franchises. Like,
It's one of Sega's best franchises,
But it
apart from
is,
like
yeah.
Sonic. Because there's so many of them.
Well, it's one of their best, not necessarily their most
That's what I said.
widespread. That's what I'm trying to explain, Zach.
I don't need it explaining. I understand the concept of saying it only has an incredibly tiny number of
franchises.
and
Oh,
they're
I
all
suppose.
normally quite good.
It's true.
Yeah, well, they've got a few. What else have they got? I don't know. Freaking Space Channel 5 or something.
Yeah, Knights, clearly.
Yeah, Knights.
Sega are in a bit of
Choo-choo
trouble, though, aren't
rocket.
they, really, financially?
Are they?
Everyone's in a bit of trouble financially.
Yeah,
Nintendo's theoretically in a bit of trouble financially.
But let's put it this way, it's going to be a sad day if Sega have to go. I mean,
Nowhere.
you know, if they like, fail somehow.
They're not going to fail, they're going to get bored. That's about the most ever going to happen.
Yeah, maybe.
They've got too many IPs.
That's true,
Yeah,
they do have a
they'll
lot of
stay.
IPs.
They'll stay as a developer. Yeah, I can't see them going down.
Well, they're not really a developer that much anymore, are they?
Well, yeah, it would just be like a ideas factory in-house of some other
they have
company.
like Sumo and Sonic Team, and that's about it. And then they work closely with Dimps a lot. And
Yeah. Oh, when does that racing game come out? The car.
I'm actually still excited for that. That's
Yeah.
like every bit I see about that game actually looks pretty good.
It's got like half the PGR team on it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, half of Bizarre are working on that, which is neat.
Very cool.
It actually looks really good. You know, it's even pretty graphically impressive. You know, there's like the Bizarre team obviously lending some of Blur's tricks to the game in terms of the visuals, which is nice.
I think it would have just been better if they'd stuck to the hoverboards. I think hoverboards are better than cars in the Sonic universe. That just seems more logical.
But yeah, the first Sonic, was it Free Riders? Is it called?
No, that's the
Connect
Connect
one.
sequel.
Yeah, that's the Connect one. It's just Sonic Riders.
Yeah, Sonic Riders.
The actual first Sonic Riders was pretty good.
Yeah.
They say the Zero G one on Wii wasn't that much.
No,
Wasn't that good.
that was going downhill, and then by the time they got to Free Riders, it was pooped down.
The soundtrack was good as well.
Yeah.
What about Sonic R, where they just ram?
Well, that's the one that makes the most sense in the Sonic universe, apart from how incredibly slow it was at the time because of it being ancient.
It was a bit. The tech wasn't ready for it.
No, it was crap.
They could probably make it work if they tried again.
Well, just imagine basically a multiplayer modern Sonic game. I mean, modern Sonic stage from like Generations,
Yeah.
where you just boost all the time and you just battle each other like F-Zero, basically. And here comes Rob to say
you
they
said
can do
F-Zero.
F-Zero game.
You said F-Zero. I'm now sad.
Rolling around,
it might
still
happen
sad.
if we use direction as like it actually ends up being.
What are you going to put on the little screen?
It's a very good question. Just a giant picture of
Gauges
Captain
and
Falcon's face.
Just Captain Falcon there saying, yes!
Yes, Falcon punch for some reason.
Exactly.
You've got boost power, he said.
Show me your moves.
Show your moves.
And then
Yeah,
you
it's
push,
the final lap.
you push on it to show him your moves. Your car spins crazily. That's the spin button.
Yeah.
You just press anywhere on the friggin' map.
Yeah, mash Captain Falcon's face.
Yeah, it's the final lap. The announcer, that was always a bit crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Anyone news?
Not that I can think of.
Nothing I care about, anyway.
Nothing we care about.
I talked about it a few weeks ago. I think we missed it out of the last podcast. But did you hear about where Rocksteady are going with the next Batman game?
Oh, are they going Silver Age or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got rid of Paul. They've got rid of Paul.
That could be kind of cool.
If they go full on, 60s can be.
No, that's not the comics though. I think.
I know, but I totally want them to do that anyway.
Yeah. Well, maybe they will. They've got rid of the writer though, who's really good, Paul Dini or whatever.
Got rid of, or did he leave?
No, it's
they
like
get to keep his
they
stuff.
said we don't need you or something. I don't think they fired him. It was like they just didn't renew his contract or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. But he doesn't seem to have hard feelings about it. But obviously,
Well, maybe they got the actual comic book writers to do it.
Well, he is a comic book writer, the guy. I think. Yeah, and so maybe they're doing something. I don't know what they're going to do though. But I mean, they've made 2 really good games so far. But to be honest, I felt like it needed mixing up now at this point. Anyway. So,
yeah. Well, hopefully this will do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Be a little bit more insane rather than maybe it won't be the gritty one. It will just be sort of like
maybe. I don't see why they need to make another Batman game. To be honest, they should do something else really. But
yeah, maybe you're right.
What else are they going to do? Batman has been so successful.
Well,
they can't stop.
Batman Arkham Planet.
I've export all your prisoners into space onto this planet. That's going to work real good.
Just do Arkham City stories, like the Lego game, just like comedy Batman antics.
Arkham City isn't really a place for comedy, I don't think.
No comedy dismemberment.
I might play that through again. Actually, I was.
What are you doing?
But none of my freaking 360 batteries had held charge at all, so I had to charge all 3 of them.
Get some battery packs.
Well, I have.
My ones have held up pretty good.
No, they haven't. They've been shipped for like the last 5 months at least.
Given that they were £7 for the set with the charger, it's like they've lasted not too bad.
Yeah.
Given how much use they have.
That charger has just been a constant flashing Christmas decoration in your living room for the past 6 months or something.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that.
Because it's fucked.
I think it's supposed to tell you that
the batteries are fucked.
Yeah.
I would not be able to cope with having something flashing in my living room for more than about an hour. I
didn't at first, but now it's just part of the scenery.
It's just part. It's just
it's not like the Wii.
Because there's the airport next to it as well with its green flashy light, and
it's not very dark in your room in here most of the time, so it's not as noticeable.
No.
And it's quite a long way away.
It's a couple of feet below the TV, so it's.
I mean, I guess I have flashing lights on my router, but they do tell me it's working.
Important information.
Yeah.
It's like there's a blue flashy light on my
external sound card
that tells me it's doing stuff.
Well, does it really, or does it always flash?
No, it stops flashing when there's no sound. Or at least it might be hard to tell because it might just be like...
Yeah, if there's any background noise.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Intriguing. Anyway. What now? Is it another section?
Have we done with news?
Yeah, I think we're done with news.
Is it what you've been playing?
Who wants to start? Come on, Dan. Lead it.
Me? Okay.
Oh, no, just tell someone to... if that's you, then that's fine.
There. Okay. Well,
yeah, Dan wasn't prepared for that.
Let's do me then, whatever. I've been playing Max Payne still. Yeah. And,
Is he in pain?
Is he in pain? Well, he's always in pain. He's always taking pain pills. The pills would ease the pain.
That might not necessarily mean he's in pain, though.
I love
how he's just addicted, clearly.
Yeah.
He seems to have a different bit of dialogue every time he picks up some pain pills. Like,
Jesus Christ, how can you think of that much dialogue for that?
I don't know. It's amazing. It's like he's got a different joke every time he's picking up, like for every bathroom with some painkillers in.
Is that a quoted all the time. Joke? Like,
is it funny?
Did you have to? Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's funny. It's obviously sometimes.
What can you say about pills that's funny?
Pills here.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing.
I don't know. If you said that, I would really be like.
Or possibly, I know one thing. I'm grabbing pills. That's the only other one.
That would be brilliant. I haven't heard him say that yet, but maybe. That would be good to have a little homage.
Raping pillage? Yeah, that's hilarious.
What the fuck, Rob?
It's got pill in it.
Yes, it does. I don't think you're going to run out of a lot of words that have pill in them.
It's a pun.
It doesn't appeal to me.
If this is
Pillage. Pillage is about to occur.
yeah, if you're in a scene where that stuff has just happened and then he finds some pills.
I'm pillaging some pills.
He's like, her.
He's like, her?
Yeah.
That's not even a word.
Well, he says it and then hers.
Yes. So yeah, I'm up to the favela stuff. I think you saw a bit.
Okay,
of that,
yeah, that's what I've seen. Yeah.
So that's so he's got a shaved head, right? In that part,
Yes.
right? Well, that's the first time he has a shaved head. So the entire game previous to that, he's been relatively normal looking Max. But now not only does he shave his head, he puts on the stupidest looking shirt ever for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why. I think it's deliberate, but I don't know. He's just decided to go crazy and wear a really, really bad shirt. And the other characters comment on it, like, before you have hair and better clothes. Yeah. So yeah, and it's been pretty cool. And then I don't know if you saw
weary of the bloom yet, or?
I mean, it makes sense in the favela. It's really, bright outside.
Well, does it make sense? Well, no, I meant the sort of glitches,
Oh, right. Well,
they're still kind of interlaced glitches, and there's there's no.
Yeah, well, that happened all the time. It was the heaviest I'd seen it actually was in that initial cutscene entering the favela. It was happening constantly.
Yeah, that's the bit I saw, and I was just like, really?
Well, it's calmed down a bit. I mean, because immediately, in the middle of the favela section, there's another flashback to New Jersey, and it's it's nighttime and it's snowing, classic Max Payne kind of territory in a graveyard. So it's like
no. What?
What?
Sorry, I was very confused. He's coughing himself out in the corner, and it's like, you're right? No. What? He got bigger.
Bloom? What?
Bloom?
So yeah, there's not much bloom in a dark, damp graveyard in the middle of New Jersey.
New York, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of contrasts quite nicely. I quite like. I mean, that's been. You were saying it looks really good, and that favela level is one of the best looking bits so far.
It runs at a fair old pep as well.
Yeah, it does. It runs really nice.
It's a fairly good engine.
Nicely.
On Dad's computer, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked, but as I said, by how poorly The Witcher 2 was running. I was a bit confused, and then I ran this and even Shogun, and they ran fine. So I think there's something funny about Witcher 2 in terms of performance or optimization. But anyway,
really shiny.
Yeah, possibly. But Max Payne. Yeah, I like the action's pretty cool. I mean, I'm getting used to it. It takes a while to get used to the kind of play style that you want to do to have the most fun, really. It's a bit weird, because it is a kind of run and gun rather than a cover shooter, but it has cover. So it's how do you use it? And like I was saying, you have to activate bullet time at just the opportune moments and stuff, because you run out really quick. But if you're just standing there, you will die really quickly as well. So it's you have to use the roll key a bit to kind of get around and move forward and stuff. I don't know. It's quite strange shooting action, but it's very different, but it's satisfying. It's cool. There's a lot of interruptions though. I have to say, I like the long cutscenes, and the storytelling is really is good stuff, and all the animation of the characters it looks really good. But it seems like every time you go to open a door, it cuts into a little cutscene where he opens the door and says something, and then cuts back into the action or something. It's constantly interrupting you. Yeah, while you're and as you walk up to a door that you kind of Max slows down, and you're about to go into a cutscene. And it's it's constantly interrupting you.
Goes from running to walking, and then.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's he'll do a little.
Or they've overstoried it, basically.
Well, I don't know, because or over cutscened it at least. Because what it'll do is it'll go into a little cutscene 10 seconds long that'll set up a set piece, where a million people will surround Max or something, and then it'll go back into the action, and sometimes it'll go automatically into bullet time, into some crazy set piece auto bullet time section where you just have to do where you're on a platform and it's collapsing and you're
jumping.
There's
the bit at the start of the bar fight in the favela does that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Where that guy just suddenly starts pulling a gun and you're like, oh well, let's gun back.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of auto crazy moment, which is cool, but sometimes it just dumps you in, and it's you have to remember to activate the bullet time. So sometimes it's hard to tell, because usually that's what you'd want to do the moment you are surrounded by a bunch of people. Obviously, is immediately try and headshot as many of them as you can before you run out of bullet time, basically. But it's cool.
Sounds like you're still enjoying it, though.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, but it's definitely flawed in some strange, by some sort of kind of weird decisions, really, like that. I mean, I think maybe I'm just too keen on the whole Half-Life idea of like not taking control away from the player if you can help it. Do you know what I mean? I at least think once you're in the level, you should be free to, you should have control throughout, rather
than keep so you almost prefer the old school style of tail ending cutscenes from big old sections.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I kind of prefer that. I mean, this. I
suppose maybe they've gone the wrong way in that, because there's so many of them that they're expected. You know what I mean? It's like, something's going to happen when I do this. Where perhaps you need to strike a better balance between, like, if I go through here, is it just more level, or is something going to happen? So it keeps you on your toes a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. I think maybe the balance is a bit off, so it makes it feel a bit too like it's shepherding you through a film rather than an awesome film.
A lot of the better shooters do that, don't they? Where you sort of like most doors will just open and there'll be something, or occasionally you'll do it and then it will do something different. And it's like, oh right, okay, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it mixes stuff up a bit. Yeah, so we'll see. But there's been some there are a lot of cool set pieces. I haven't played any shooters with big set pieces for a while, so it's nice to get back into that. And they're not all sort of Call of Duty, I don't know, they're more inventive than your Call of Duty scenarios, I think. Your standard war scenarios, obviously, there's a lot more craziness they can do.
Do you breach a door in slow motion?
Go through a window in slow motion?
Yeah, definitely, stuff like that, yeah. Sideways.
I meant not through choice, like in a cutscene. Because I'm sure you can dive through windows in slow motion in bullet time, because otherwise...
well, like I'm saying, as a cutscene ends, it might automatically dive you through a window, and then but you have control over your cursor, so you can start shooting people.
Does it zoom into a bullet casing hitting the floor in slow motion?
It's a classic.
Maybe. Might have seen that. It's certainly it's constantly zooming in on bullets that are flying into enemies when it's the last enemy in the room. It does that every time. Yeah, so that's cool, I guess.
I didn't see much of that bit, to be honest. It didn't seem to do it in every fight that I was watching, like the bullet zoom. But it's like, you can make that pretty brutal, can't you? Like, depending on where you hit them with that last shot, then it's...
Yeah, it can be. And if you can keep
quite
shooting
a lot
as
of
well.
face missing.
Yeah, it can be a bit gory, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's completely out of character or anything. I think it works. It's a bit weird, but it works. Especially when you're diving through the air or something, or doing something crazy, and you can see the bullet come out of your gun and fly towards them. But yeah, when they get hit, it can be a bit gory.
Yeah, I'm still not sure they should have added the keep shooting thing.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, but you don't. In practice, I don't do it because I'm worried about running out.
No, true. Okay, I guess yeah. Oh, so you've discovered it actually does affect your ammo count.
No, I still haven't. I haven't worked it out, but I think it does because it will smoothly transfer back to gameplay, and then of course every time you shoot, it's taking from your ammo. So it's hard to tell where the line ends and whether it is actually taking. I should just look at the number and then see it. Oh, I don't know.
Like, unload a shit ton of bullets and see if you've got no ammo one time.
Yeah, that's what I have to do, an experiment. Okay, yeah, that could be cool.
Journalism. Shoot a dude a million times.
So, yeah, Max Payne. Although, I did have some problems earlier this week, because it seems to have, like, evil, kind of always-on DRM stuff, I think. Because
Rockstar did kind of have a name.
They had their retarded Rockstar Pass and Social Club.
Well, this is the Social Club
that's not
thing.
really... Oh, is it? There's DRM associated with Social Club.
Well, that's what I think. It wouldn't let me.
Didn't GTA 4 have a weird rootkit though?
Did it?
Can't remember.
That doesn't sound very.
It was something like GTA 4 PC actually had some fairly nasty DRM. I don't know if it was Securom, but it was something fairly similar.
Okay. Oh, Securom. I only ever had one game that had that on. I think it was Splinter Cell Chaos Theory had Securom on it for some reason. Anyway, the problem was that Steam downloaded an update, and then I launched the game, and it got to the title screen, and then it said, I failed to launch the Social Club UI. And then you couldn't go into the game, and you couldn't do anything, because nothing you pressed would do. So you had to, Alt F4 it, basically. You had to kill it. And what I had to do was uninstall and reinstall the Social Club, which it turns out is a separate application in your program files.
Oh, right.
I didn't even know I'd had
so it's
installed.
So it's like an overlay thing.
Yeah, it's just like
Steam.
Yeah, it looks like Steam or like Games for Windows Live, I guess. But it just didn't start. And then it just didn't work. I was like, oh, great, well, you've patched my game, so it doesn't work. Thanks, Rockstar. But, yeah, it seemed like I had an older version of the Social Club thing. I'm not sure why, though, because that must have been the version it installed when the game installed, because I don't think I have any other Rockstar games on.
Well, yeah,
oh, no, I do. I have GTA on PC, so maybe I had the version from there, and it didn't bother to upgrade it, and then something went wrong. Anyway, so that's the fix if that happens, but I was like, God damn, that's annoying, so watch out for annoying
weird
DRM
updating
stuff. Yeah.
I suppose Games for Windows doesn't have that problem because Steam can't.
I'll talk about that later.
But yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about it later.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Max Payne, and I will continue to update you. I think I'm about 2/3 of the way through, so probably finish it by next time.
Cool. Anything else on your plate?
Then on to Alan Wake, and as I say, I'm after watching the Batman film, I'm thinking of playing through a bit of Arkham City again.
What do you think about Batman?
Did we not talk about this?
Did you? I can't remember if you'd seen it yet when we talked about it. But...
I think I had, but yeah, I had, because we were talking about the opening ceremony last time, right? And I just watched it that night, didn't I?
My name is
Brain. Oh, what was it? What was my favourite? When he's fighting him in the sewer or whatever, and he's like, "Oh yes, I wondered which would break first, your mind or your body."
It didn't just say body, did it? It was kind of that weird slow version of body that evil people say. It was like, your body.
That was awesome. I really thought he was cool.
It was a funny old voice, wasn't it? It was great.
Oh no, brother! They expect one guy in the wreckage. Is that right? And he's like, I can't even remember what happened. Did he seem upset, the guy, or was he just super loyal?
No, he was like, sweet.
Yes, I get to die. Awesome.
Of course, brother.
I can't remember. Did he even look sad or like resigned to his fate, or was he just like,
no, he was
sweet?
I think he was kind of pleased. Yeah.
I get to die in a plane crash.
He didn't seem particularly bothered and not elated, but, he wasn't unhappy.
If he was that loyal, why didn't Bane tell him that he was going to die before the whole operation started? Like,
just in case, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
It would have been whoever was there at the time, I suppose.
Yeah.
If some one of the other guys had been in that position.
Being like, we'll get rid of you.
No, brother.
You must stay behind. Yes. As I say, I don't think it was as good as The Dark Knight, but it's
not as good as either of the first two.
Well, I still think the first one was a bit dumb in places.
Oh, yeah, it is.
But Katie Holmes was a bit lame, but
yeah, she wasn't great.
Not that what's her face in the second one was that much better, to be honest. She's better.
But she was better.
She's been better in other things. Maggie Gyllenhaal. Well, but yeah, she was better. I still think I need to watch Batman Begins again, because I always think of like the way Lucius Fox is talking about his cape and the way that like you apply a voltage to it and it goes rigid so that you can glide or whatever. And then later on in the film, Katie Holmes like uses a taser on the Batman, And I don't understand why the wings don't just suddenly fly open.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Maybe they're like so mysteriously insulated from the rest of the suit, except for when power goes through these particular cables. Or
Yeah, I
something.
guess that makes sense from a precaution point of view, but still, because otherwise he'd be super vulnerable to tasers.
It could have been super funny. They could have done something really dumb with that, maybe.
Yeah, I think it could have been hilarious. But anyway. But yeah, it's quite heavily like you'd be a bit. I think you'd be a bit confused in The Dark Knight Rises if you hadn't seen Batman Begins, because
there's quite a few references. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
whereas they don't mention the Joker at all, do they?
Yeah, and the League of Shadows is. It's kind of weird in that respect. It feels like it should be perhaps a sequel without, except for the references to Harvey Dent at the start.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight might not even needed to have existed. It's the best of the three, but it's like weirdly story-wise, it has very little influence.
Yeah, it's true.
It's strange. It is a strange decision, and it also doesn't feel like a conclusion.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's good enough conclusion for the Bruce Wayne character, I think, but I don't know about everything.
I'm not sure it is. He just, disappears. He was kind of disappeared at the start of the film.
Oh, right. Yeah, not much different, yeah.
No.
I suppose. Yeah, well, he
was disappeared.
He was lauded.
He was loud. Anyway, yeah, Batmanness.
This isn't a car.
I wasn't sure about the...
Images of Batman now, just getting on his cycle and going, vroom.
I wasn't sure about the aerodynamics of that thing, but it looked pretty cool. It reminded me of something. It was very Combine.
A Weevil. Like, it looks a bit like a flying earwig.
Well, it reminded me of like a gunship from Half-Life 2 or something.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Kind of organic.
Yeah, with the sort of weird enclosed fan blade thing. Like putting it underneath the thing. I'm not sure how well that would work. But yeah, it was cool. And it wasn't a car. Alfred was getting really frustrated throughout that, wasn't he?
What's that?
Poor old Alfred Pennyworth was like, for God's sake, constantly. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Damn it. That was my stomach, that though.
Don't think that would have fit up. But you need pizza, so let's move on.
Moving on.
He just like, let's rattle this podcast out. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah.
Well, we just talked about random film shit for 5-10 minutes.
It's not random film shit, it's Batman.
Batman. Robert Kemp, what you been playing?
Loud.
You've been playing
I've been playing loud. A little bit of stuff, not a crazy amount. Like bits and bobs of 3 games mainly. So we talked about. I finished Mass Effect 3 last time, didn't I? So I won't talk about that. I have had feedback from Matt Macon, who has now played the ending in both styles, extended and otherwise.
Oh yeah,
and agrees that with the general internet and that the extended cut is far better.
Really?
And, having seen both of them, I'm not so. I'm not too fussed either way. It seems okay both ways, but he seemed much more impressed with the handling of the extended cut.
Right,
so
okay.
I'm guessing that's the opinion of the world. One guy. I don't know, that's all I've got to go on as well now. Yeah, that's all I've got to go on.
We've still got Zach's opinion to come, I think, on that one.
Exactly.
You should definitely play that.
You'll like it.
Yeah, I think you'd like it.
Actually, did you... Well, I was about to say, did you actually like the other two? Because you seem kind of indifferent to this one, but...
I think you like
I'm kind
one.
of indifferent about... Well, things about one... One seemed better at the time before 2, obviously. Because once you've got, like, a proper shooting game, you're like, oh man, 1 handled so badly.
Yeah. When Gears of... Well, it came out after Gears of War, but it was... when stuff started actually doing the Gears thing well, it was like, people can actually copy this.
Pretty
now.
good for shooting.
Yeah.
But then 2 was like...
Going back to 1 is hard as well.
Yeah, exactly. But then
all
2
that
was
Mako
like,
stuff,
okay.
trying to shoot things with the gun on top of the Mako by jumping up and down with the little... There was a lot of vehicle weird shooting action where you had to...
Well, it wasn't really that much shooting with the vehicle.
I don't know. There are whole sections where you had to fight those
There's
Geth
rather
Colossus
large
things.
portions of Mako. Mako makes up a really big
They were
part of the
driving,
game.
not shooting, though. There wasn't really that much shooting with Mako.
Yeah, I suppose
don't
you're
know.
right. I suppose you're right. But you do
Apart from the
spend a
friendly
rather
ones.
large amount of time in the Mako.
Yeah.
Those Geth Colossus things were a lot bigger than anything you actually see in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
Like those robot
What do you mean?
things.
You see Reapers? Those are pretty...
They don't count
No,
as
but
spaceships.
I mean that you actually fight, like, you know, obviously, because...
I
there's
fought
no
one on
vehicle.
foot!
Yeah, fair enough. Me too.
Fuck that.
You hated it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Yeah, I did. I did hate. I did not like. Playing
Anyway.
I hate.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that I didn't play that.
Yeah, well, we just talked about it again.
What have I been playing? Oh, yeah, of course. I spoke to Dan already about this. That's why I was getting confused. I have been playing a bit of Saints Row 3.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Hey.
the third. Or... Yeah, that the latest Saints Row game.
No, that's what the next one's called.
No, is that just what it's known as at the moment?
No, it's like its working title is something stupid like the next great sequel in the Saints Row franchise, and people are like, you can keep that.
That would be a fantastic name for the game if it just comes out. Yeah, that game's pretty fun.
Yeah?
I'm liking it a lot. It's it's GTA on like with all the
GTA on ridiculous drugs.
yeah, with all the realistic bits taken out that I didn't like about GTA 4, and then it's just
Right, all the stuff I liked.
yeah, basically it's just all kinds of bonkers, all kinds of the time. And it's fantastic. It just does. There's no part of the game that takes itself seriously and just focuses entirely on fun. And man, does it deliver! It's kind of glitchy in places, but that kind of adds to it. Like the crowd mechanics are particularly dumb. Like you can steal a car, and then the person will run away in terror, only to turn around, do a quick 180, and run towards the car in terror, hit the car, and then fall over. Sort of run into the car, go ah, and then knock themselves out. It's great. You're just driving around the town, you sort of just see random people breakdancing on the streets, which is awesome.
Sure, that's not intentional.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is intentional.
It's
but
not
just,
a glitch.
No, it's not a glitch. There's just people dancing and stuff. And I've seen some great stuff happen where, like, a group of people has walked up to a car. The guy's got out of the car. They've had a bit of an argument on the street. And then when the argument's done, they all just sort of casually walk away, leaving the car there. And it's like, oh, I'm having that.
Convenient.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. The story is hilarious so far. It's essentially the setting is you rob a bank at the start of the game because you know you can, and
Why not?
yeah, all dressed up as Johnny Gat, who apparently was a big character in the previous games.
Yeah,
I don't really
apparently.
know, but yeah, you'll wear his head, and yeah, just sort of in the middle of the scene, you're basically robbing the wrong guys, and as the scene goes on, there's all more and more ridiculous bad guys start coming out, like the scantily clad lady army people.
Rapid 99.
Gnome is clearing her throat in indifference. I remember.
Indifference.
Yeah, so and then that fight goes on, but there's some brilliant lines in there because it knows it's a game as well, and the script kind of reflects that. So you're in the middle of the robbing the vault, and stuff's gone a bit wrong as it does, and so you call in a chopper to try and lift the vault out, and you're just not that would work physically, you know, but it makes a fun sequence. And then it's like while you're waiting for it to arrive, it's like, how long is it going to take for the chopper to get here? And he's like, about 2 waves of guys. It's like, that sounds about right.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's filled with that kind of stuff. It's great. It's like there's a scene soon after that, and these aren't really spoilers because they're right at the start. Where and people, you know, in the reviews, the second mission has you skydiving from the air after you take over a jet, essentially, and jump out the back of it while it's crashing. But the sky is just filled with stuff, like tons of crates and like 1 million cars. And as you're flying through it all, it's just like, where did this stuff come from?
Far too much to be in one cargo plane. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's like 50 cars just falling to the ground.
Out of the sky.
And then in the middle of that process, you catch your comrade who doesn't have a parachute. You pull the parachute, and then you're just floating there, and then you have a little bit of a conversation. And then just while they're in the middle of talking, your character sort of just goes, I don't want to alarm you, but they're trying to ram the plane into us. It's like, so what do you intend to do? So her plan is to just throw the other person again, shoot out the windows, like you lose your parachute, and in the space you don't play this sequence, but it's just cool. Like you fly through the plane, you kill a load of dudes, you pick up a parachute on your way, and then you fall out the other side, and then you have to go through another falling sequence to catch up and catch your friend again. It's just friggin' awesome.
Let's just go through the entire plane again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
It's pretty damn sweet. It's like the music is great. It's all a bit dubsteppy and electro and stuff like that in there, and kind of gangster, I suppose. Is
your favourite?
Yeah,
dubstep.
The Saints Row Pink may be a bit much in places in terms of presentation, but at least it's consistent, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
The character creation's pretty deep. It's got to be said. I haven't tried Max Face yet.
Oh, the most important thing.
I thought I was going to leave it till either you or Zach was here before we tried that.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it is insane. And unfortunately, the character creator doesn't actually come into effect until you've played the first sequence. So you have to do that, and then you get to create your character.
Oh, okay.
Because you play the first sequence entirely in mask and stuff. Although, given how big the sex appeal slider makes certain asses, it's a bit surprising, like if you were dressed as a bloke, like how that really translates. But it's It's not a boob slider. It's a sex appeal slider. And I don't know what that does to the men.
I bet I didn't do. I can imagine in this game.
And you get quite a lot of voice options. You can choose between 3 blokes, 3 ladies, and a zombie.
Okay.
So I'm playing as Russian lady, just for laughs.
Awesome.
Because it was Russian voice, Russian gangsters. That just sounds awesome. Cool. And in like third mission, you're controlling some kind of drone that can fire missiles at vehicles on the floor, and you're destroying like 5 tanks. Yeah, awesome. I have that weapon now, and it's like the third mission. I can just whip that shit out and start blowing stuff up. It's fantastic.
Nice.
It's just a complete laugh, and I'm loving it.
Awesome. Oh,
I'm finding it hard to think of a bad thing to say. It doesn't run particularly great on my machine, mainly because my machine's starting to age now. Like things just generally don't run perfect on it anymore. Not because of like my system dying. It's just the specs a bit outdated now.
Yeah.
I need a bigger graphics card. Everything else is fine. It's just the graphics card is aging.
Yeah, the graphics card.
It's only at 275, and now you're up to like affordable 670s. It's starting to get behind.
There's been some Crytek 3 demos, the gameplay demos recently.
CryEngine,
pretty sweet. Yeah, CryEngine, or the Crysis 3 stuff basically, but pretty sweet, I have to say.
I got some stuff to talk about that in a minute. I'll get to that. But it's it doesn't run too great. It's made by the same guys that I believe that did Red Faction Guerrilla. And that engine didn't run great on my machine, and it doesn't look brilliant. And you could argue that was perhaps because of like they had to render all the buildings had to be constructed of so many parts in order to destroy. So
yeah, I guess.
I actually played a brief spell of that. I saw it was installed on my machine and that I didn't have many achievements. It was just like...
Yeah, but they're all multiplayer achievements.
Yeah, you'll never get those. But there was a few of the... like, I haven't done much of the wrecking events.
Oh, yeah.
It turns out I thought, no, what the fuck, let's just go in and have a quick go. And it's like, that building destruction is still pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's still pretty cool. And the insanity of the singularity bombs is always awesome. But it's... yeah, so you can tell where some of the insanity comes from, I suppose, by that. It's just like, well, you can do what you did best in that and just go nuts.
You can't destroy things quite
you can't destroy stuff, I suppose. And I haven't found GTA Swing Set of Death like equivalent to that.
You think they put that? Like, that's something they put in deliberately.
Yeah, well, maybe they do.
Just like there's a swing set somewhere that you can see jiggling.
Yeah, maybe they have. I don't know. It's like, that would be sweet if it is. Yeah. So yeah, as I say, the Gorilla's engine wasn't brilliant, so then it might affect my performance a bit. But it's not a bad looking game. The only thing that looks kind of weird in it are the cars, strangely, and they play such a big role, but they kind of look very, kind of just flat. Like when you colour something, it doesn't look like a metallic paint job or it's just a flat colour, like almost unshaded flat colour.
Right,
it's kind of weird.
That's a bit strange.
And it's sort of they don't look too bad in the world so much, but it's like when you're like picking a car, maybe it's just the garage interface or something.
On it.
Yeah. I'll have to play with that a little more. And there's quite a lot of radio stations, and the radio has news broadcasts that react to what you just did. So they talk about a large amount of cargo landing on part of the city after the plane mission.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of funny. And then they talk about the conspiracy theories, but there was no wreckage of a jet. It's like, what just happened?
That's pretty cool.
It's it's kind of funny. Enjoying it a lot. Really need to get around to playing some more, because I've only played like 3 hours, but...
Yeah, sounds good. Well, let us know what other crazy hijinks to get up to in Saints Row.
Yeah, the longevity tests will still to come.
Okay.
So I mentioned you mentioned CryEngine 3, and it actually fairly what ties into that is I played a bit of Nexuis, or Nexuis,
of course.
However you say it. That's a weird game.
Okay.
It's like. Right, it's essentially like an arena shooter trying to recap some of UT's thunder, I guess, seeing as there isn't really much about like that anymore.
That's cool.
That basically just goes all out, and it sort of succeeds in the sense that it's very pretty. It's kind of got that UT aesthetic in a lot of the levels, and it's the weapons are quite neat and stuff like that. What makes it stand out among the rest of it is ridiculously fast. I mean, stupid fast. I think you move...
Like 3 faster.
Well, in that Halo game that Zach and I sort of play occasionally, where,
turn it up to 300%.
Yeah, you turn movement speeds up to 300%. And,
right.
And it plays like that all the time.
Okay.
It's ridiculously fast. It makes aiming incredibly difficult. It is a super skill-heavy game to play. How people move pretty fast. It's kind of like that, I guess.
Yeah,
well, tribes, that's part of the game, though.
Yeah,
and in tribes you have to accelerate. Like it takes a while to get up to speed in tribes.
Yeah.
You have to ski down slow.
You don't really accelerate. You just like that all the time.
Okay.
And they do mix it up a little bit. The speed makes it difficult to kind of play, I guess, and difficult to aim. So it's like you have to be real top of your shooter game to sort of do well at it. And which probably is one of its biggest flaws, I guess. It's hard. I mean, really hard.
Right.
I tried playing it online for a few hours and just got my ass handed to me, like absolutely ripped to shreds. And I don't know if that was, in typical online play, I don't know if that was lag issues or whatever. It looked like I was hitting people, but they didn't die, and then I die from one hit. That kind of, the usual online guff. That goes with it. So I couldn't quite figure out, but these guys did seem like they were a clan or fairly serious players and stuff, so I wasn't that pissed. No. Kippers was pissed, but Kippers is always pissed.
Yeah, apparently.
So it does have some interesting stuff. Like the dynamic mutators are a quality idea. It's like in the middle of a fight, you pick up a power up, and then it gives you a choice of 3 effects that can have at random. And there are like tiers of power-ups, and the more you build up, the more you use through the game, I think you get the higher tiers of stuff. I'm not quite sure how that tier system works, but you get some random stuff. Some of it is like fairly basic stuff, like everyone gets unlimited ammo for a while, or most of them affect the entire crew, so it's not just you that gets the advantage. Sometimes they'll be like everyone's gun fires twice as fast, or everyone gets jetpacks, or and they start getting more and more insane from there. The floor is slippy, so everyone starts moving at insane speeds, but can't really control which direction you're going because it's so slidey. And then low gravity mode. Or everyone has to use this particular weapon, but it insta-gives. That kind of stuff. It gets kind of crazy. People don't drop stuff when they die, so there's a mutator to make people start dropping all their weaponry. There's stuff that take away all the pickups on the level, so you're stuck with what you've got. It's a right pain in the ass. There's modes that make every player on the map regenerate health. There's one of them is a giant bomb that just puts itself in the middle of the level, and anyone in the vicinity dies.
Cool.
It's pretty funny. It looks like a giant old like bomb, basically. The classic sort of like
It looks like a giant bomb.
well, not like the classic round black one, but sort of like the bomb you drop out of a bomber in like World War films.
Yeah.
It looks like a giant one of those with a big neon clock above it that counts down until it explodes. It is
Awesome.
That's pretty funny. But for me, it's pretty good looking, but you have to run it at top spec to make it good looking. Like when you start knocking stuff down, the effects and the way it handles lower settings,
Right.
isn't
Not very
great.
gracefully.
No. If you turn down world detail, for instance, the LOD is harsh, as in stuff will pop in within a few feet in front of you.
Right.
And that's
yeah.
if you even turn it down just a little bit. You have to have that shit maxed out in order to make the world look, well, and not jiggle about, basically, as you move around. It's kind of a weird... They've not done the LOD that well
Right, I see.
on the world detail. But you can turn down
But
the other stuff, like the texture details and the thingies. And I'm a bit worried, because I haven't played Crysis 2 yet, and I have to turn quite a lot of stuff down in order for it to run, and it still doesn't run silky smooth. And I've seen Crysis 2 running on a system of similar specs, super silk. So I'm wondering if this is just Nexus being not a great implementation of or great use of CryEngine.
I think it's
or
probably
if
more likely. Yeah.
Um,
Well, you'll find out, right?
yeah.
I guess.
I get the feeling this game would be absolutely amazing to play LAN. I'm not sure that its speed lends itself that well to online, play.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is a shame, because I really want to like it. Because I'm not sure I do, because I can't play it, if you know what I mean. I can play bot matches,
Yeah.
and it seems quite intent on making you play CTF as well, which is even more ridiculous given the speed.
Right, yeah. It's like team.
And there seems to be like strange bunny hopping tactics, like if you keep... that's one of the mutators as well. Everyone pogos.
What, so you just constantly back?
Everyone constantly jumps.
Awesome.
And there seems to be some strange like tactics though, where you can make yourself run faster by constantly jumping and things like that. And it's a bit strange in places. It's like it would be a good contender for an esports style shooter. You know what I mean? It's like designed for the hardest of the hardcore. And the other, yeah. And the other thing is that the community doesn't seem very big. There aren't very many people playing.
It was a free weekend this weekend.
There was a free weekend this weekend and a deal on it. So maybe the community will get a bit bigger. Maybe there'll actually be some matches I can play in and, be on the same level as every other noob in there. It's
Maybe they'll go free to play eventually. Standard
yeah,
stuff.
possibly. But it's not like it's expensive.
No,
It's
but
it's been on deal plenty of times. You can get it for £2, which is there's a reasonable amount of levels. Some of the levels aren't so great. In fairness, there's a few that are highly vertical, and I've never liked those sort of levels.
No.
I prefer being able to walk around.
It's got bounce pads and stuff.
Yeah, it's got bounce pads, and like stuff like that. But I've never been a crazy fan of one of them is basically just in a tower, and it's like 5 or 6 Tories. Tories? 5
or 6 Tories stacked on top of each
5 or
other.
6 politicians all fighting.
How fast can you shoot the wall?
Yeah, no, it's like 5 or 6 stories high, and the only way to get up and down is via the bounce pads, and then they're not very large areas on each floor, and it's an entirely vertical fight you're having, really, and I haven't played very many populated games, so it's always been like the most I've had in a game's 4, and the levels seem a bit big for just 4-player games.
4? It does seem low.
Yeah, there really wasn't many people about when I was playing the other night, and it's just a shame. It deserves more. It's like, but that's the problem. It's like it seems like a good game, but it's currently you can't really play it already, which is a real shame. It's like the original Monday Night Combat. You can't really play that anymore,
Right?
Because there's nobody about.
Are they all playing Super Monday Night Combat? Or?
Yeah, presumably.
Some of them.
The rest of them probably moved into Team Fortress. So.
Yeah.
You can still play TF2. Isn't there a new map out?
Yeah,
I saw
apparently.
today. Might have to try that.
It's now we're back in King of the Hill though. Boo.
King of the Hill's alright.
Sometimes, not all the time.
I would see some more proper CP, like another official CP level of some kind. But
I think they're due to do another payload, really, because
Yeah,
Barn
that's
Blitz wasn't that good.
Bomb Blitz is okay. It's not great, but it's okay.
Because they've already done Foundry, which is the last official one. CPs. I mean, they're sort of running out of ideas for putting 5 capture points in a row.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about Foundry. Foundry's okay.
There's not much more you can do. They'll have to start making more special delivery maps.
Yeah.
Not sure that'll work either.
Well, you never know.
I still like that gateway. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing on that front. I played quite a bit more Bastion.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm on the last. I've got the last mission to do.
All right,
Like
okay.
a bit of the point of no return.
Right, so you're right at the end then. Right.
Yeah, and I've done everything else that I can do, apart from doing Zolf's Who Knows Where challenge, because that's fucking difficult.
Yeah. Some of that stuff's hard.
I haven't done that bit. It's I'm enjoying it. I think it's a really good game.
It's a
like
good game, right? Yeah.
The combat is... It's weird, because it sort of grows on you.
Yeah, it does.
In a strange way. It's like, I was kind of like, is this all there is at the
There
start
is
of
to
the
the
game?
right?
And it's like, and as you play through it sort of is all there is, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you don't really care.
Because it's quite fun, yeah.
I suppose you get more weapons, and some of the last upgrades you get for some of the weapons are
Pretty nice, yeah.
like the Fang Repeater actually becomes useful when you get the homing shots.
Right, yeah.
And that makes that actual challenge, the repeater challenge, possible.
Right, is that how it works? Okay.
Pretty much. I couldn't get anywhere near the gold target unless you did the first place target, unless I had homing shots.
What do you get out of the...
You
what's the prize?
pretty much, whenever you first place a challenge, you get a hidden technique.
Okay,
Like
for that
one of
weapon.
those, the black tonic techniques. Well, not necessarily. Yeah, I think it is for that weapon, actually.
Okay.
But I've never found them much use. Like, or whenever I've used them, I put yourself in a situation where you're going to get damaged.
Yeah, I tended to use the ones that save you from death. Those kind of ones that I went for in the end.
I've been using the grenade.
Right,
It's kind of because it's pretty powerful. As long as you get out of the way of it, it's like I can clear a load of these annoying bastards out in one.
Yeah.
I don't use them enough. It's like the stupid thing because they have limited uses. I just don't use them, despite the fact there's a fuck ton tonics everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. It's typical, isn't it? Yeah, I found that. I found the exact same thing. Yeah.
Pretty dumb. But yeah, I like that game. It's as I say, I'm not sure I've got much else to do on this playthrough other than finish the story, and then see if I can be able to play any more of it. I'm still playing Breath of Death as well. Breath of Death 7 in the beginning. It's what is it? I think I'm about 8 or 9 hours into that now. I think I'm getting close to the end though.
And then you can finish the other 2.
Yeah.
Before you get on the arcade, right?
Well, no, the other one, and then Penny Arcade is the second one, presumably you was talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Truly saves the world next. Yeah, it's still alright. There's not actually that much dialogue or comedy as the game goes on. It seems to start with it quite a bit, and then they just don't really talk very much. So it's like there was a neat bit where it's like you go through this building and you enter a dead end room and it's got the item in it you need, and then you get attacked and you defeat the boss, and then your character just sort of turns around and goes, well, I guess we're going to have to backtrack through this entire fucking place. Well, not really fucking, but he doesn't say fucking. That's the word that's not there. But and then goes, what a cheap way to pad things out. And then they have a chat, and then the next screen that comes up goes, conveniently, the crystals teleport you back to tower. It just sort of doesn't explain why. It's just this stuff just happens. It's like, conveniently.
Classic.
It's like, well, and at one point they're just like, well, what do we do now? I don't know. Hey, Mr. Narrator, what comes next? Then the game goes, the heroes thought they should venture in this direction. Helpful. It's kind of dumb, but it's It's alright. The actual boss fights actually make you think. There is usually a tactic to how you have to take them down. More so than I've seen in a lot of recent games of that type. Well, there are many JRPGs or turn-based RPGs anymore, but this one actually, you have to employ a bit of strategy rather than just kill them with the hardest shit you have.
That's cool. I always thought that was a bit... Yeah, that did seem to be the general tactic to killing the massive bosses in JRPGs. So just pound away with everything you have and judicious use of healing things at just the right moment, basically.
Yeah, the game kind of forces you to do that because after every turn, the enemies get more powerful. So if you play a sitting game and turtle it up for a while, you won't win because the enemy will just get super tough and then one-shot everyone.
Right.
It's like there are certain enemies that, like the one I just did, had 2 turrets that one of them gets super strong if you destroy the other one. So you have to manage keeping them both alive until the last possible moment and kill them both at the same time.
Right.
Otherwise, the other one will just one-shot you. And it's like there was one guy who was a bit. Sometimes it's useful keeping a minion alive, because if you kill all the minions, they'll spawn extra minions, that kind of stuff. Or sometimes you need the minions there so you can build up your combo meter, so you can then do a super powerful final attack before they regain all their health or something like that. Sometimes it's a bit hit and miss because you may have to play the fight a few times to actually sort of figure out what the enemy does.
Right, yeah.
Like the first time you do it, you'll be like, they've just regained all their health, and you're like, fuck! And then you can't win. It's like, because they're too powerful by that point. But then that's going to happen at a certain point or under certain conditions, so you can try and avoid it, and they're like puzzles in a way.
I like that idea. That's cool. Yeah. And, puzzles that you solve with your abilities that you've been leveling.
Yeah, and they're quick enough that you don't really care, you'll just try again immediately. It's like if you see sort of a room that kind of looks like a corridor and just goes vertically, you're about to have a boss fight. So save, and then you're okay.
Cool. Okay. Little clue there.
Yeah. It's like they're pretty much always like that. You'll go through a few screens of dungeon, and then there'll be like a room which you have to walk upwards in for a while, and it'll look like it has pillars on either side. And it's like you pretty much know a boss fight's coming. So save. Just save a lot in general, because you can actually save anywhere. Like no save points or anything.
That's cool. Except in the middle of a boss fight, right?
Well, yeah, you can't save the fight, but it's...
But you can save, anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Save points are out of date, I think.
Yeah, it's fine.
You should be able to save anywhere.
Yeah. It's kind of mindless, when you're doing the grind and just working your way to the next boss fight. But it's... you can occasionally get killed if you're not paying attention, or you just sort of relax a bit too much, or try and save your magic points. Trying to save your magic points seems like a bad idea. The enemies will just walk you if you hold back too much.
Right, yeah.
It's like you've got to stay fairly offensive. It's like an interesting juggling act. It's like I don't want to use all my super powerful magic because then I'll run out of magic points before I get to the next restore point or whatever. So sometimes you're kind of keen. It's like I'll just hold back on this one, and then you'll get whooped. So save a lot.
That's your top tip. Save a bunch.
Save. I'm the antithesis of that today.
What, saving?
Yeah. I bought a car.
Oh, what'd you buy?
New Focus. Super shiny.
Ooh, nice.
So,
you get to drive it.
I have, I've driven it. It's that was kind of what sold me completely. It's like, oh yeah, I could, and then I got in it and drove it, and it's like, this is lovely.
You can drive any other cars?
No.
So that's an incredibly well-formed opinion then.
It's a lot better than my old Focus. So, that was all I needed. I wanted it. It was a good price.
So you didn't drive that 1 Series BMW. Check out the handling.
No, well, I was never totally, whelmed by its...
Fair enough.
I was never overwhelmed by its interior kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
But it would be entirely about the drive. I get, I get all kinds of crazy gadgets on this thing.
Awesome.
It's like it has the Bluetooth stuff all in, so I can just sit there, it'll pick up my phone, it'll have all my music accessible, it has voice control for all that stuff.
Cool.
And it's
I hope the bloody audio is a bit better, because it was very, very strange in your last car. I wasn't sure if it was the set up.
No, I think that was just my settings. I think I got
It
that
had
wrong.
the fucked up speakers.
It did have a couple of messed up speakers, yeah. This one appears not to.
Because I was like, oh, you can listen to album on the way back to Suffolk with Rob, and it's like, hang on, there's like no mid-range. I can't...
No, it was a bit strange. It had very little mid, and I think that's a general problem with car stereos,
Probably.
actually.
But you should be able to hear, like, the person singing when the volume is really loud.
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird.
It's kind of awkward in a car, though, isn't it? Because the mid-range is the same sort of area where your road noise
your
lives.
car noise.
So it's kind of difficult for a car stereo to sort of fight
true.
against that. But this one sounded pretty sweet.
Yeah.
The guy who was selling me the car had Skrillex on his iPhone, so it's like the perfect test. It's,
Nice.
yeah, I don't know. It's nice.
So,
like
what
bigger
colour is
alloys,
it?
It's bright white.
White. Nice.
The worst colour for cars.
I think white's
Constant washing time.
Well, true. There is that.
You will have to go to the car wash a few times, but I think they
Or
look
just
super
go shopping and get the local, get those guys with buckets that sort of just do it while you shop.
I'm pretty sure you still have to pay them.
Yeah, you do still have to pay them,
You're not saving any money.
but it's not exactly expensive from those guys.
That's cool. I always liked my bright white Boxster in PGR. The first
Oh,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like I can control it's a 5-door, so no more clambering over the chairs.
Woo.
Oh, really? Sweet. So we can just pile in.
Yeah, they don't do 3 doors of the new Focus. But,
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
yeah, it's got a nice engine as well. It's still petrol 1.6, but it performs better and it's more economical. And I can the screen. It's got 2 screens in it. There's one in front of me for like the trip computer, and it animates for all the menus and stuff. And it's insane.
Oh, brilliant. So when do you get delivery of it then?
I'm going to pick that up next weekend.
Nice. Okay.
Full review.
Full car review. Oh, you'll have to like drive us around or something. I don't know.
Oh, and it's keyless.
Oh yeah, that's quite common now.
Just
though.
step into the car and hit the power button, and it's on.
Yeah,
Cool.
that seems to be fairly standard now, though. I've noticed.
Yeah, I think
cheap
so.
Cars.
Well, yeah, you have to get like a pretty spec'd out version of the Focus to get it, but it's
Right. Yeah.
not like on all of them. But
Cool. No, very nice.
I don't know. I really like it.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Very cool. Well, bright sides to bad situations sometimes, even if your saving is going a bit wrong.
Yeah.
You get an awesome car.
In fairness, I don't want to mention their name because I'm going to badmouth the. Should I mention the insurer I'm with?
No.
Right, okay. Because no, especially not. But if
someone listens to this and then fucks up your claim, screw you, bastard.
I'm going to stop right here. But they're crap.
Okay.
Whoever they are, they're crap.
Yeah. Okay. Are you actually going to change your insurer on the new car?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I did a quote on. I will say
On
this, 'cause
another
this is
one.
positive.
Oh,
Oh, is it? All right. On some insurer that does a multi-car policy.
Right. Yeah.
And it looked
What,
friggin'
multi-car?
amazing.
With Naomi's car.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the quote was friggin' amazing actually when that came back. It's just like this can't be this cheap.
Right. Okay.
And that's if I was driving both the cars as well, and both the Focus and the Mini, and it's just
Mysterious.
top tip.
some insurers are good and some are bad. Top tip.
Top tip. Yeah, they're using this multi-car thing as a way to fight back against the price comparison websites, aren't they? Because it's like, oh, you could get... Well, but they don't compare multi-car shit or something.
No, they don't. And actually not many insurers actually do it.
Right, okay. Well, I've seen at least like a couple of adverts in the same break with different insurers saying we do multi-car.
There's one in particular that kind of like started it, and they seem to be pretty damn good as far as the price is concerned. Whether or not if I crash the car or anything, then they'll actually be any good is another question. But.
Yeah.
So anyway, hot insurance debate.
This is a great mid-section of this podcast.
Perhaps we should
Talking about cars and insurance.
Hey man,
let's flick back to the old...
that's life, dude. Cars and insurance is life.
That's life, dude. Yeah. I hope the Ford Focus, the new one, is in grid 4 or... No, grid 2 or dirt 4 or some shit.
Damn, I better be.
With it built-in Bluetooth, so that clearly...
Yeah. So I'm sat at my computer desk controlling the audio of my car in the game.
Yeah,
that would be pretty sweet.
So, is that all you've been playing then, Rob? Or have you got any other...
That's pretty much it, I think. I'm
cool,
not sure we've multiplayed much recently.
Okay.
No.
I was thinking I was hoping...
Oh, we did a bit of Guild Wars.
Well, yeah,
the first Guild Wars, like a tiny bit, yeah, before we got to a mission that we actually for some reason couldn't do.
Well, we could. We were just completely retarded.
God, I was kind of crap.
Well, we kept doing the wrong thing and attacking enemies in the wrong place, even when we knew where we shouldn't be. It was like, okay, we don't want to go there. Oh, look, we've gone there again.
Well, no, or we tried specifically not to aggro such a large group of people, but then somehow managed to,
aggro exactly the same number of people.
When we tackled it from a different angle, it's like...
It's because they walked into where we were. It's the classic Guild Wars 1 problem. I was trying to make Rob more enthusiastic for Guild Wars 2 by playing Guild Wars 1, but that doesn't actually work.
No. No. I'm not enthused about Guild Wars 1 anymore. I'm still kind of interested in 2, but it's like...
Yeah, the world has moved
I was trying to play to Rob's classic, like, I have to finish this game before I move on to a new one.
I'm not sure I do in this case.
Does that work in MMOs? I don't know.
Well, in Guild Wars 1, there's a very specific,
There's a story.
A set of missions that you go through.
Oh, wait, that's news we haven't talked about.
Is it?
Old Republic.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone free to play.
I don't know, maybe we
going free to play, yeah.
It's going free to play a lot faster than anyone
expected, yeah.
I might play that then. Why not?
I was thinking about that.
It might be worth us all playing it. Come on, man. We've got an MMO we can all play. For free!
Yeah, okay, when it goes free
to
play...
Play Guild Wars 2 for not quite free.
Not quite free.
For regular game price.
Well, that's true. But this
Imperial Agent all the way,
bitch. Wookie.
Free machine. That's why it's free.
It's not that shitty. I'm sure it's fine. It probably yeah.
Yeah, it probably is fine. Just didn't have the traction of wow.
It didn't have the traction of Star Wars somehow.
Yeah, it is kind of bizarre how it didn't work. Really, isn't it? It's like
I don't know.
People put up with Star Wars Galaxies for so long.
Yeah, exactly. That had amazing traction for being really shit.
And then changing it to something else shit halfway through its life cycle.
What are the global player numbers of MMOs? Are they actually going up still? If you take all games into account,
who
knows?
Because it seems like everything's going down for MMOs.
Well,
WoW is going down slowly, obviously, because it's mega old, which makes sense. But I mean, it doesn't seem like anything else is taking off or taking its place. So
and there are no other big ones, really.
Yeah, so it's
Republic.
Yeah, but it seems like MMO.
They're all playing E.
They're definitely not.
Seems like MMOs are going down at the moment, in general.
I didn't say they're going down. It's been several years where there's nothing really happened for MMOs.
Well, the space hasn't changed much.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it, and that's the problem. It's I think it's like Guitar Hero syndrome, where it's that shit is still good, but do you really want to play that anymore? Honestly?
Well, at this point, it's starting to become long enough since World of Warcraft that there probably is space for something to do fairly good.
I still think somebody could do it on console somehow. I don't know how. It's a really hard problem, but if you could...
Someone just has to do something quite different. That's all there is. Someone has to come up with an MMO, a new MMO system, perhaps one that isn't so ingrained in traditional RPG roots, sort of break the mold a bit. I mean, that is an incredibly difficult thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to innovate in that space, but I
kind of feel sorry for the Secret World in a way, because that actually tried quite hard to do things differently, but then brought in some fundamental elements like the combat and stuff that is so cliched RPG, MMO stuff that's just, and not a great implementation of it either, from what I've heard. And it's, but they tried so hard to make the rest of the actual experience pretty unique.
Well, that's what happened with the Old Republic.
Yeah, I suppose with the Old Republic.
They had the Star Wars thing, which was the good part, and then it was just here's more generic, boring fighting.
Yeah, basically.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe that's the root of the problem, that people want some kind of different combat.
Well,
what was that one recently with the cool combat MMO recently? Japanesey typey.
What, the terror
Yeah,
thingamajiggle?
I don't know. That looked kind of cool. Whatever it was.
Well, that's probably what Guild Wars 2 is going to be like.
Yeah,
Terror's
okay.
free to play.
I think I saw a little bit of Terror, and it looked like what Guild Wars 2 sort of looks like. It has that same dodging, basically.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
There seems to be quite a few similarities between it, but Guild Wars 2 just looks like a better
Game.
Well, it will be overall.
Obviously.
Definitely, yeah. But I mean, that's a step in the right direction, right? I mean, adding a bit of...
well, it's like now. It's almost like
a bit of skill, I guess.
It's almost like in the World of Warcraft age, that whole, and think back to Guild Wars 1 style of combat. It's almost that way. The sort of way that style of combat works is almost a sort of relic of lag, where people didn't have good connections, so you could things had to be timed, and you could queue it so it would just repeat after when the one timer expired, it would fire the next thing in the sequence, so you didn't have to worry about your ping time.
Hell, that's still how EVE works.
Well, yeah, well, sort of.
Time dilation, I suppose, fixes that.
Yeah, to some extent. But that's like that whole mechanic is almost a hangover from the shit internet days, and now that you can actually do things in real time, like dodging.
It does make me wonder how much of an issue that would be during like the large events in Guild Wars 2.
Well,
like how badly will that shit start the lag?
I don't know. Maybe they have some kind of ingenious lag compensation thingy. But
I suppose you don't need to, like, when you're playing that, maybe it doesn't care so much about what your comrades are up to.
Well, I mean, you can still... I mean, Guild Wars 2 still has the queues, skill queue, where the next skill that you've pushed will happen immediately after the one that you're currently doing. There's still that element. I guess, and I suppose dodging becomes less important the more people you have.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if you're going to get hit, everyone's going to get hit.
I'm still sort of, like, surprised that the Realm of the Mad God, for instance, like, there's quite a lot of people playing that.
It's because it's a tiny browser game that you can play for free.
Oh, yeah, but as I say, I almost think that it's a sort of fairly good example on... that is different. There's not really much like it, is it? I mean, it's just a fairly basic shooter, but at the same time, it's kind of unique in its own way.
Yeah.
And so, that has a draw. Because there isn't really much like it. And I noticed Kippers was playing it earlier.
I'm pretty sure the main draw is that it's still a browser-based thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's probably mostly why there's still tons of people playing it. Relatively speaking.
Well, there are plenty of other things you can do in a browser.
Yeah, that's true.
Play Minecraft.
Well, sort of. Poopy Minecraft. Minecraft...
Speaking
now
of
we can talk about what
Minecraft.
I've been playing, because I also played some more Guild Wars 2 because there were some more stress tests.
Okay.
And I was like, I have to continue my attempt to, like, my classic sort of EVE style attempt of try and work out shit that I want to do beforehand so that I can optimize everything to the max. And then I was like considering what, like, the character that I might play along with Rob if he actually plays it. It's like, okay, Rob's going to be an engineer because that's the cool class.
It looks pretty sweet.
And my solo character is going to be an engineer, obviously. But I'm giving Rob the engineer for when we're fighting together. So it's like, I have to pick one of these other classes. But but in order to optimize it, surely it would be better if, like, if both the classes we were playing were wearing medium armor, because then we only have to train up one class of armor crafting rather than two different ones.
That's true.
Okay,
then we can both craft.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, that makes sense. So now that narrows down the options of what I can play some more. So it's like, do I want to be a ranger and, pets and bows and shit, or do I want to be a thief and do crazy melee? And I've never really done melee before, which made me automatically think ranger, but it's like, but I've never done melee before, so maybe I should actually do thief.
You're playing a brute in Guild Wars, like a melee character in Guild Wars 1.
Yeah, when we played together, all the other characters I played were all spellcasters of some kind or another.
It's because melee's boring.
Well, it's because melee's difficult.
Is it?
Well, yeah, it's all about, like, the whole idea of tanking and, managing aggro and getting in, in Guild Wars 2 my main problem is actually staying in melee range. Because not like Guild Wars 1 where when you push the button you just run up to them until you stop and then you both stand there hitting each other. Whereas in Guild Wars 2 you can actually, like, swing and just miss everything. You have to actually pay attention to if the enemy's going to try and dodge, you have to move with them.
Well, that actually sounds pretty cool. Actually, maybe that's one of the reasons for this new the sort of slightly more involved combat system is to actually make melee interesting.
Possibly, but I did play a little bit of Thief in the second beta weekend, and that it seemed okay. I think I might be able to manage it. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure how. Because it's not like originally I was thinking because when we did Guild Wars 1. Obviously, you were the monk, and I was the soul warrior, so it was like healer and tank, obviously, because you want that pairing
Makes
to be
sense.
together. But I don't think that matters any longer in Guild Wars 2, so I probably could be whatever the fuck I want. And it wouldn't, you don't have to have someone to stand there and tank all the enemies around them and then have a ranged character shooting shit in.
True.
Because you can just run the fuck around. I've done that. I did that at least once with my attempt at engineer, where there was an enemy that was probably a bit too strong, but I just circle strafed him for ages and died.
That's awesome.
Took fucking forever, but yeah. So I played some more of that and kept thinking about ridiculous shit that I'm planning out what crafting skills we should take and all that kind of thing.
It feels like a well put together game. That even though it's not fully done or out or anything, it looks well crafted.
It's very nearly out.
Yeah.
It's not much going to be changing. Although, I mean, between the two stress tests, they did one on Thursday and one on Friday, 2 days consecutively. And the one on Thursday was a lot more broken than the one on Friday. Well, the first one with the Thursday one was you couldn't log in. It took like an hour before the login server was coping with it. But then once you did get in, it was like random bits of the landscape are invisible all the time, which made it very difficult to play. But that seemed all fixed up on the Friday one, so maybe it was quite a good stress test.
Either that or it wasn't as stressed.
Well, maybe. But the Thursday one was at a worse time for the American server, It was at a worse American time period than the Thursday one was more in the Eurozone and the Friday one was more in the American zone. So I'd expect the Friday one to be more loaded. But then again, of course, I want a European server.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not loading that overall. And that's a weird problem in itself, the whole issue of servers.
How does it work?
Well, you just pick a server when you create a character.
Oh, okay.
And the server you pick is your home server in the world versus world fights.
Right, yeah.
And so you can't go into world versus world, but you can go onto someone else's. You can guest onto another server to just do everything else. So it only limits the world versus world thing, but that's kind of important. That's like quite a major part of the PvP elements of Guild Wars 2, is this ridiculous Uber fight.
Which is just back and forth forever over the small strip of land.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah. But so that's kind of causing, because it's like, obviously, that's not a problem between me and Rob, because I can just tell him what server to pick, and then we can both go on it. But then, like my other characters, like my solo character, what server will I want to be on for that? Will I want to go on maybe the one that all the other people in IRC who are going to be playing this? Do I want to get onto their one, or do I maybe want to suffer the lag of going onto an American server and get on the one that all the giant bomb people are going to be making their clan on?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can make multiple characters, so I guess I could have...
Yeah, just try both.
Just have as many characters as I can. I think you start with 5 character slots, and then you can microtransact to get more.
Okay. Well, 5 is quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I did at one point have 8 characters in Guild Wars 1. One of which was... Well, 2 of which were really just banks. Naturally. I need more storage space, I've got too much crap. Cram them onto a character.
Create a new character. Make sure they have a very big bag.
Yep, basically. So yeah, that's Guild Wars 2. And speaking of Minecraft, as we were going to before I got distracted again, I played some of that because they unleashed another new version of that.
Unleashed.
Which is a bit of a weird new version. They've decided to consolidate the single and multiplayer and the sort of back end into one thing. So now when you're playing single player, it's basically just running a multiplayer server, effectively.
Okay, like a local multiplayer server.
Yeah, so that leads to 2 main things. The first of which is that you can turn your single player game into a LAN game by just clicking a button.
Yeah, okay.
And I was thinking, presumably, that means you can just use Hamachi or something to just proxy tunnel it, so you can create fake LANs over the internet and then not have to run Minecraft servers. like actual real Minecraft servers.
Perhaps, but then what's so bad about running a Minecraft server?
Well,
just fire it up when you want it.
It's effort, and you have to like install. And that's the other thing that's different now that it's consolidated, because it used to be a big problem of mod management and making mods. But like single player mods don't always work in multiplayer, and you have to specifically code them differently or something. So now that that's consolidated, in theory, mod makers only have to make one version and it'll work. Although now that everything's based on the multiplayer code, apparently the multiplayer code wasn't as good for mods to start with, so that might actually make things more difficult for a period of time as they adjust.
Okay, so it's a little while until the modding community can get sorted out with the new version.
Yeah, basically.
Again,
and then
for the last time.
But the other thing about this weird single player multiplayer thing is now you sort of get the slight lagginess of multiplayer Minecraft even in single player.
What? Why?
Because it's bad at coding the patches. It's always been bad at multiplayer. It's like the main thing that it's not that I haven't really noticed it most of the time in single player. The only thing you do see is like the movement of enemies and stuff is slightly jiggly because it's not tracking their position so precisely because it's almost lag-like. And I have had at least one case where an item hasn't been where it looks like it is. It fell very precisely on the edge of a block and then animated like it was falling off the edge of the block, but it was still actually at the top of the block because the position data wasn't recorded at that exact moment or whatever.
Right, okay.
So that sucks slightly, but not really that much different.
That could be something they could iron out, I guess, like efficiency. Cause shouldn't have too much of a problem like that if it's a local server.
No, you think?
Yeah, I guess, and maybe it highlights some of the problems in their netcode.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully that will make everyone who plays single-player Minecraft realise that their netcode hasn't been great, and it's like, now there'll be a big outcry to get them to fix it more. Because it took such a long time for most of the things that were in single-player Minecraft to even work in multiplayer, like minecarts and stuff. Those were completely fucked in multiplayer for a hell of a long time. So yeah, that's Minecraft, more Minecraft. Started a new world again.
Yeah, because you have to, I suppose.
Well, yeah. No mods. So that wasn't very interesting.
You're not going to invite anyone onto your world then?
No.
Hey girl, come into my world.
Hey girl.
And then I played some more Eve, I guess. While I was... It was basically a matter of the topic of Eve came up in IRC again, and that makes me want to play Eve.
No, right.
to some extent.
You played a bunch of Eve?
Well, not really a bunch, a bit. My skills were about to finish as well, so I was like, oh, that was convenient timing. I remember to log in to change my skills.
You must have all the skills by now. How many years have you been playing this game?
Pretty much. I mean, it's like most of the skills that I'm training now are like month-long skills, so I don't really have to log in very often.
What are you training?
I don't even know.
I don't even know.
I think it's like Signal Suppression 5 or something, which is for something that I not ever use.
When's the last time you trained something that you really wanted and were looking forward to it being trained up?
Well, it probably wasn't that long ago because it would be like new skills.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm also, I think after Signal Suppression 5 is finished, I've got a couple of new skills coming up as well from some of the new modules they just put in.
You must be spec so far ahead of new players. Like, even players who've been playing for 2 years or something. You must be leagues
Well, I
ahead.
don't know about that. It's like, a lot of the stuff is just like, diminishing returns and everything. Once you get to those 30-day skills, it's barely even worth the time if you've got other stuff to do.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, I played a small amount more of that. They changed mining barges. I was like, fuck yeah, mining.
But in a good way.
Yeah, in actually a good way for a change. They actually sort of made an adjustment which was beneficial to mining, where, well, sort of beneficial. It doesn't really increase output or anything, but they changed it so that the free mine... Because it used to be this free mining barges were just upgrades, where it was like the first mining barge could only fit one strip mining laser, and then the second one could fit 2, and then the third one could fit 3. And it was like, yeah, that's very obvious. And then the Tech 2 versions of those barges did technically have some differences where, like, one of them was good at mining ice, and one of them was good at mining this super rare mineral, but they're all, it's still just 1 laser, 2 laser, 3 laser. But now they've changed it slightly so that, like, one of them is... I can't remember what it is. It's the one with 3 lasers has the best output overall. The one with 2 lasers mines almost as fast as the one with 3 lasers because it gets a bonus because they couldn't be bothered to change the model, I guess. But the one with 2 lasers just has a gigantic ore cargo hold, so you don't have to keep warping out all the time. You can mine for longer at once, solo.
Which sounds like a good idea. This one's sounding the best so far.
Yeah, that's my one, obviously. And then the third one, I can't remember what that is. It's like, it has a super hardy tank or something, so you can survive in low sec better or whatever. But yeah, the one with the giant ore bay is like, I was just like, sweet, now I can AFK mine even better. Because the way you do it before, I mean, because I have ridiculously high skills, it wasn't like I could mine for very long before I had to walk back to station all the time. Because I was mining so goddamn much. Or there's the classic EVE alternative tactic of jet can mining, where you shovel your shit into a jet can and people fly up and steal it all the time. But now you just have a gigantic ore hold, which is actually bigger than a jet can. It's like the first time that the jet can mining has been sort of legitimised, because this ship actually has an ore cargo hold bigger than an actual jet can. So you can store a shit ton of minerals in there and AFK mine for ages at once.
Nice.
And I was like, sweet, now I can play EVE while I'm listening to podcasts.
That was pretty easy anyway, in fairness.
Well, yeah, fairly easy. But sometimes like clicking over on like warp to station and then dropping the ore out of the cargo bay, sometimes even that is enough to distract me from actually listening to what the fuck's going on. So yeah, there's that. That was EVE again. And then I mainly played quite a lot more of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Yep, exactly. I didn't realise that is basically the tank music.
The tank music.
The Battlefield 2142 tank music.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, I know, but I never realised that until quite recently when you were like,
what, you
tank music!
You never knew that's why I was doing?
No!
Oh my god.
Well, you just thought Rob would come up with it independently.
Well, it didn't sound exactly like it. And you probably screwed up the tune more than once.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Which put me off it. But it's like, oh, it's the tank music.
Yeah, for some reason.
I get it.
It's just casual music.
Yeah, exactly.
For tanking around in. It's not quite the same in Battlefield 3, though.
Well, no.
The music doesn't really suit
Well,
it.
you don't have a hover tank, for a start.
Yeah, it works well in hover tanks.
And also in Battlefield 3, it's almost constantly, like, beeping and people shouting shit.
Hey man, there's like a machine gun in your head all over.
Yeah, exactly.
Just typically going crazy in Battlefield.
Yeah.
And I still haven't bought that game.
Yeah, you should.
You really should.
Well, I should. It's probably still full price though, those bastards. Over at Origin.
Maybe. Or don't buy it on Origin, try and get a disc copy.
Yeah, buy a disc.
Yeah, maybe. I wonder how much it is on the Amazonians.
But yeah, basically I play a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance because, I don't know, I'm getting through it again. I'm like slightly more than 2/5 of the way through.
I'm still kind of tempted to pick up the iPad version, but it's one of those things that I know I don't have to because I've got shit tons of stuff to get.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be my new lunchtime game, but that would be my new lunchtime game forever. If I got that.
It's true.
So I think I want to do Infinity Blade first. If I was going to do an iPad game.
Oh.
Someone's dislocated their shoulder and they're driving.
What?
Germany.
Ooh, crap. Live Olympic news!
Yeah, very live. Anyway.
Very not live.
Oh, and right before our guy as well, that's going to put him off.
Like
That's what the commentators are saying.
He was like, fucking diving. I don't want to jump off this shit, it's a long way down there.
So it looks like I can get premium, Battlefield 3 premium for £33.50.
What?
So
what? Is that
Is
just
that the combination
premium,
of...
or is that actually got the game in it?
Well, it says... Oh, that's a good question. Does that include the actual
Because the
game?
content pack, premium on its own is about that much.
Ah, maybe that's it. Yeah.
But that seems weird that they'd be selling a disc for that.
Well,
Yeah,
Unless it's just a box with a code.
I think it's a box with a code in it.
yeah, it's a box with a code. Oh, okay, so...
It'd be neat if it did have a
That's
disc, but then you'd have access to, like, modders would have all the access to all the content already.
Yeah, I guess.
They probably haven't finished yet.
Yeah,
Right.
That makes sense.
So so that means... it's annoying, because if I just buy Battlefield 3, I won't even get back to Karkin and all that shit, will I?
If you can get a limited edition copy, some, like, disc copy, then you may be able... Then that stuff's all included.
Yeah, they're not selling that now, though.
Yeah, they don't sell that. Yeah, presumably.
You might have to... Maybe someone you can find on eBay that hasn't used it. Or...
Something like that. Some crap.
Bastards. Basically...
But anyway...
Okay.
But if one of us gets premium, then I'll get premium.
I'll just play TF2, I think. Anyway.
You should just be online more.
Well, you don't have to play back the Karkin.
Yeah, I know.
It's not that great.
No, in fairness, I'm not a massive fan of the card.
It's like 2 of the maps are okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I might just get the standard game at some point. Anyway.
Yeah, as Tactics Advance, it's kind of still dumb in places. Certain elements of it are kind of ridiculous. Where it's just like, why are you get these you get like, you have bonuses that are attached to like the lore or whatever. The lore is significantly less retarded than it was in the original 5,000 Tactics Advance, because that used to be really ridiculous, where it's like, you just make lore, fuck off to jail, and then you have to wait in jail for like 20 days or something before you can get out of jail again. But now it's just like, if you break the law, you don't get a bonus at the end of the map, and you can't revive anyone during that battle, which is much less...
Oh, right, so if you're red-carded for breaking a law or something...
Well, it's not even red-carded, it's just like, it's an overall law of the whole team. It's not per specific unit any longer, like it used to be.
So it just holds your revive, does it, if you break it?
You can't revive and you just don't get the little bonus items at the end of the match.
It's kind of removing its point somewhat, because a bit of me kind of liked the idea of that.
Well, but then
and the harshness of it.
Well, the other thing that the law is attached to is, like, you get a bonus, you choose a bonus at the start of the battle, where it's like, you get bonus speed, or bonus power, or bonus other stuff, regen, or whatever, and you unlock those. But it's like you unlock those through these stupid clan trials, where you have to do very specific tasks in this special map setups or whatever. But it's like, it's like, you get clan points for completing missions, and you pay the clan points to go into the clan trials. But it's like 10 clan points per trial, and I'm like 2/5 of the way through the game, and I've got like 1,600 clan points. So I don't know how we ever get. There's just way too many of these clan points. The only other thing that the clan points are used for is the auctions, but then that's only 20 clan points, and that's only like once a year. So he's like, do they just expect you to be really bad at these clan trials for some reason?
You have to try them like 1,600 times.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of weirdly unbalanced. And of course, there's the other classic thing about these tactics games is the trying to ridiculously exploit systems, where it's like, I'm going to surround this enemy unit so he can't move, and they just stand here and steal everything he owns. It's the classic maneuver. Free stuff! So yeah, that's the kind of ridiculous thing.
It's like, the FF8 thing as well, wasn't it? Where it's like,
well, the FF8 one was the worst, where it's like, I have to draw magic out of enemies.
For a million turns.
And it's like, if there's only one enemy you know of that has this one specific spell, but you want 99 because it gives you a stat bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, because because of the junction system, if you junction to certain magic types, the effect of the stat boost from the junction was more effective the more of that magic you had.
Yeah.
So
you just had to grind on this one enemy that you knew had this one kind of magic and just draw it! Keep drawing it!
Yeah, just draw for hours. I think that might have been where 100 of my 120 hours went, was on drawing.
Yeah, exactly. That was a ridiculous system.
It's kind of cool, but
it was a cool system, but ridiculous.
Yeah, if you wanted to hardcore it, then it was a bit grindy. Quite a lot of grinding.
Well, and
then it gets really annoying when you find out that their certain magic is actually more effective for that stat boost. So you then have to spend hours drawing that one instead. It's like, oh, bugger!
Yeah.
And then, of course, that system was kind of mad anyway, because you could draw GFs.
Well, that was kind of awesome as well. It's like the GFs were always hidden.
Yeah, if you missed it, then it's like, oh, well, you're never going to get that GF.
Yeah, you had to make sure you always drew everything out of every enemy.
It's like I missed Bonmuncle the first time. Was it Bonmuncle?
Well, it wasn't Bonmuncle, but that was what you called it.
Yeah, I did call it Bonmuncle. There's that thing called the Green Hedgehog.
What, Carbuncle?
Carbuncle, that's it, not Bonmuncle.
At least that makes sense from a Rob naming perspective. It's very similar.
Rob naming perspective.
Yeah, I missed Bodmuncle the first time I played. And,
But that one sucks anyway.
yeah, it's not very helpful.
Carmichael always sucks.
Plus, Reflect is kind of evil in those games because you can't cure yourself
Yeah.
when you're reflecting. Unless you reflect an enemy
Yeah.
and then bounce your
Cure off them.
cures off them, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah. Although, was it also in... I mean, it has happened in other games, but I can't remember whether it was in FFA, where reflected spells actually get stronger.
I'm not sure that was true then.
That might have been Tactics 1, actually. I'm not sure. But I definitely remember one of the games with Reflect where in order to make your magic stronger, you cast Reflect on yourself and then aim magic at yourself because it reflects and
bounce it
gets more powerful.
That's kind of cool.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Bounce it off my face.
Yep.
Lightning bolt, come on.
So yeah, that was Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Man, if they had like the graphical power to like do the clever stuff there, like so you had the reflect shield up there, when you cast it on yourself, you could just see the thing go and bounce off. That would be
If it was that directional.
yeah, like the magic of crossing the beams thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else that I played. It feels like there should have been, because I can't have played a DS game for the whole week. And I'm pretty sure I didn't play E that much. Well, shit. I never remember this anything.
Well,
You've just been watching Olympics and stuff like that.
No, I haven't really. That's the problem. Because the non-live Olympic coverage kind of sucks. I tried watching some last night, and it was like, all the interesting things I want to watch have no commentary.
yeah,
Like, mainly the track and field stuff when they're overlapping the, like, BBC One coverage. It's like, I want to watch the hammer throw, but without commentary, that's just not very interesting.
I'm still
I need people to tell me about these things where they can say, like, well, that was awesome, or he was unsteady, or...
Yeah.
I'm still both impressed and annoyed at the BBC's coverage at the same time. It's like, no, I haven't really got much to stand on, given that other people's coverage is so terrible.
yeah.
But
A lot worse than
Yeah.
ours.
And
technically, it's very impressive.
yeah, I just kind of get annoyed with, like, you know, the sort of... I feel sorry sometimes for, like, people of other nations that are in our country watching the BBC, because it's like, yeah, Team GB this, yeah, Team GB that. Hey, person who just won from, like, Spain or something, it's like, what did you think of the Team GB guy? And it's like,
Well,
I just won this, I don't care about this other guy.
I never watched
Yeah.
interviews, even when I was watching, like,
the interviews
daily roundups or whatever.
But there's
I'd be
so
like, skip.
many of them, is the annoying... If
Well,
you're
that's
not
why the live part does that.
Yeah, if you're watching, it's like the worst example I think I saw was when our long jump or triple jump lady who was tipped to do really well but didn't
do
make it
very
into
well,
the
yeah.
finals. And then the commentators literally said, "Our interest has waned in this. Now. Let's show something else." And it's just like, well, fuck you guys! I want to see how this turns out.
Yeah, that is really dumb.
But that's why there is the, like, ridiculous coverage. So you can continue watching it.
And it's like, well, when the 100 metres was on, and the 100 and the 200 metres, they did this. It's like, before the 100 metres on, they had about 2 or 3 montages of the people and, like, cutaways and stuff. It's like, real big build-up to this race, while there's stuff going on still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather be watching some hammer throw at this point.
And then the highlight show came on later on, and they had 2 or 3 different montages. And it's like, how many montage teams do you have? I know you've got to have a montage, but you can have one.
I guess I don't know.
Use it in highlight show. That's what the highlight show's for.
Yeah.
I mean, the 100 meters is the key thing of the whole Olympics, really, isn't it? And it's only 10 seconds worth of content, so you have
There's
to
other stuff going on. It's like, I've not seen a single javelin throw. For
No, they
this
don't
thing.
show that in the track and field. They always show all the track
It
stuff.
was
Yeah.
yesterday. Watched it.
Well, you said, you may have done, but I haven't seen it.
You may have done. That doesn't impact Rob's worldview.
Absolutely. Well, it was kind of annoying because they were doing interviews with people, and I could
And you could see
see
it happening in
javelins
the background.
flying in the background. You're like, motherfuckers!
Yeah. Really annoying.
I took a ride on the actual javelin. That was quite fun.
Yeah, what's that like?
Ah, well, it's very
Is it a
nice.
train?
It's a train, yeah.
All right, then.
Train reviews. Trainy train.
I was only on the train for 7 minutes, but it's like a bullet train, basically. Japanese style. Hitachi.
Maglev.
All very nice. No, not like
I doubt it.
normal style. But yeah, all very slick.
What were we talking about the Olympics
I
for?
don't know.
Your lack of gaming.
Yeah.
That's why.
I was trying to remember what else I was not doing. Someone from the corner of the room is moaning, food! And it is fucking 10 o'clock and I still haven't eaten. How am I still
Alright.
alive?
Yeah,
What the hell's going on?
weirdly, my initial peckishness has now disappeared.
That's because your body is eating itself, you see.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm good eating.
Well, I can't remember anything else, so I guess we're done.
Do you want to wrap up then? Shall we?
So I can just about do it.
Okay,
Unless you got
fair
anything
enough.
else you want to bring up?
Nah, that's,
We're talking about the Olympics some more.
I think we're good.
We won
Okay.
bronze in the diving.
Well, thanks for
won a lot of
joining
goals.
us for our gold-studded Saladcast.
Yeah, pretty good. You know, I just want to point out the fact, just like, you know, China, big company. Yeah, that's probably true. But China, big, massive country that's like, you know, got 1 million ton of medals. You know, that's probably fine. You know, they've got more probability for churning out awesomeness. It's like America, enormous place. Yeah, doing quite well for themselves. Tiny Britain, third.
We just take people from other countries, though. Where it's just like, this guy was originally from Ethiopia, now he runs for us.
We have a lot of immigrants. We accept immigrants from the world, and then we claim them as our own. It's like, I call that
That's the classic problem with the
skill.
Olympics,
It's
really.
business acumen. Is what it is. It's like we are buying and selling people for Olympic gain.
Yeah. So anyway, wrapping this up, as we've interrupted ourselves.
What do you reckon will happen in
We're actually
the...
20th on the list of sort of medals per capita.
So we are actually doing really well then.
Well, I suppose there are some
Well,
really
that is pretty
super
good,
tiny
yeah.
islands that only need to get one medal to win.
Yeah.
Grenada are winning with a population of 110,000 and one medal. Meanwhile, Jamaica have a population of 2.7 million and they've got 12 medals, so they're number 2.
Pretty good game.
Yeah, and we're at number 20.
Well, they won 3 in one race, so.
That's true.
That was a bit of a dick maneuver.
But where's
the wall.
China? United States is 46. I
Yes.
can't find it. Oh, China's 72. Well, that makes sense because they have a massive population, right? They have
Yeah.
1.3 billion, so yeah, it's
and-
quite
and-
hard to...
And I do love the fact that apparently the Americans keep changing what the metric is for winning.
Well,
on
you
the
have
table.
to.
It's like, well, we're winning the total medal on all the medals, so it's like, we must be winning. And then it's like, well, now we're not winning on medal total, but we have more gold, so now we're winning.
So now we're winning.
It's what you have to do.
Makes sense. Just frame it in a way that makes you look awesome. That's the key.
Yeah.
Right,
Always.
okay. Well, cheers for
Now I'm
joining us on
hungry.
the
It's,
Saladcast.
it's kicked
Quick,
in.
frame this in a way that makes us look awesome.
Quick.
Success!
Yes.
We
Right.
shall demonstrate our awesomeness with a moment of silence.
Catch you next time on the Saladcast. It's goodbye from me.
You need to stop the recording now.
I do need to stop the recording now.
And
You've said that the
goodbye from
last 2
them.
times we've been doing this.
Yeah, well, I have to remind you in case you forget.
Bye,
Well, I'm
guys.
going to do it then. So yeah, bye. It's
Bye.
goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me. Us. Them.
And it's sometimes goodbye from me.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Other times I just don't say anything.
Are you done louding?
Oh no, brother. They expect one guy in the wreckage.